You're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
He Anglican, he's nervous looking.
That's literally not true.
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
All right, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy afternoon, a Tuesday afternoon here, and there as well, I think. Unless you're in the, I'm way up in the top corner. What am I doing up here?
I don't like
Let me go back where I belong briefly.
I was told counsel wanted to see me type.
So I'm only slightly listening in on the Apple presentation, as they just announced the creation of Babelfish, or Babelfish, for those of you who are Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans. Apparently your AirPods now will just translate languages. You just talk and they talk and it just does it for you. You can hear whatever is said. I can't wait to go to foreign countries now and just hear what everyone's saying about me. I'm so excited about that. All right.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Wait, you're right, nothing at all. Let's see. Where's... Okay, hang on. I've got the wrong chat pulled up. Just 1 second. Pull this one out. Oh, show chat again. Okay, pop out chat. Here we go.
Chicken fight. I'm not going to argue about semantics.
I'm not going to argue. No. We are not. Okay, Beach Life. If I can bring this up. Beach Life, congratulations. You're first in chat. Beach Life, you are the wiener, the big wiener. First in chat, we're going to punish you for your promptness, and in fact, you're now responsible for everything IP-related worldwide. Congratulations, and good riddance, honestly. Glad to have that off my plate. Let's see. The Murder Show says, hey, RA, longtime sub, just started my own true crime stream. Love your content. The Murder Show, that is awesome. That's awesome. Tim, it's going to be, I think it's Tim, right? It's Tim, right? Tell me it's Tim. That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm glad you're chasing your dreams there on that. Hope if there's anything I do to help, let me know. All right, can't play Apple's music in the background. We're going to be going to court here in just a minute. Thank you. Going to be court in just a minute. It's going to start in just a second. We have watched the first part of day one of this pro se intoxicated gun-wielding defendant. It sounds bad when you say it that way. It sounds really terrible. It is. It's terrible. I'm still getting used to the glasses. They're those blue light blockers, and we're seeing if they fix the headaches. So, which Tim, you'll know, comes with the job. So I finally decided to give it a try, and Amber made it all possible. So thank you, Amber. All right. We're waiting for them to come back for lunch. We're just flipping through the Zoom right now as we are muted. We're prepping for the next witness, or possibly even the witness that will be testifying via deposition, recorded deposition. Greener says, guess who's in for dire, but on lunch recess. Ha ha ha. It would be Greeners. Greeners, I hope you make it. I hope you make the cut. Don't tell them anything about us, because it will immediately exclude you from the list. But remember, don't talk too much. Tell the truth. Don't seem over-eager. Keep your answers simple. And you've got a shot. You've got a shot. We're rooting for you. We really are. All right. FL41 glasses from Zenni is what I use for my ocular migraines. I don't know what they are. A real lawyer would eat up this case, it seems. There's definitely opportunity for a experienced legal professional to excel in this court case. I would agree. So, Professor R.A., I forgot my homework. Can you give me an extension? Just 1 hour extension. That's it. All right. Watching news stories. Man credits Apple Watch for helping save his life. Apparently, Apple liked that story. I wonder what they're talking about in court. I'm thinking lunch. Whatever was on the lunch menu. Everyone's just kicking it back, chilling. Defendant right there in the white shirt. The gentleman in the suit jacket sitting behind him, standby counsel. And seems to have done a pretty good job prepping his client.
Taking it easy.
Yep, taking it easy. SW, this is new to me. What's this trial about? The defendant is charged with basically driving a vehicle while having consumed alcohol, which is different than driving under the influence. I think the threshold is lower, but also being in possession of a firearm after well intoxicated. And then there's the whole what is it? Interfering with the official duties, resisting arrest, the typical things. Resisting arrest. Don't get me started on this. Resisting arrest. The average person in front of the Walmart getting arrested and unfamiliar with the process probably commits this offense. Probably commits resisting arrest. You basically have to contort yourself into a pretzel on command to not fall guilty of this. And I wish they didn't use this as like a go-to all the time. It's like, I felt his arm pull as I reached for it. I felt resistance. Thus, he was resisting. No, that's just my muscle here across my chest tearing because I can't reach that far. That's all it was. It was not me. It was not me fighting back. But basically, you've got to turn yourself either into Gumby or a rag doll to avoid resisting arrest. If they want to charge you with it, they will, unless you are the most compliant. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How can I help, sir? Is that far enough, sir? It hurts real bad, but I'll keep it back there if that's where you want it. Yeah, you could, that's what you need to do. Yes, I have been forcibly restrained. I took a class with the police, and they asked for a volunteer, and I thought, sure. Well, I wonder what could it be. It was the this is how you do a felony stop and takedown, a handcuff. And so yes, I've been the guinea pig there, and they did in fact say, "Quit resisting," when I was getting handcuffed in surprise. Anyway, it was a fun class. I loved it. All right, let's see. How about complying?
Hush. Now I'm trying to have court. Don't raise your voice again.
Court's going to start in just a minute. We were just past the hour mark. I think the judge is going to come out here. We're just waiting for the jury. Maybe that's him. Is the door opening? Possibly. Nope.
In front of the Walmart.
The flipping screen is making me dizzy. That's because right now there's no speaker, and the this is a Zoom feed, right? It's basically Zoom. It's a little different. It's not Zoom software, but it has.
You don't put a diplomat.
Yeah, you don't put a diplomat in a hoopty. It has what's called video follows audio. It's a type of switching. You can have audio follows video. So what if I did that right now? Camera 2 is live. You would hear the mic for camera 2. If I switch to camera 4, you would hear the mic for camera 4. This is the opposite. As there's sound, it activates the camera for that angle. And so if the microphone hears something, it's like a little louder on this side of the room, suddenly we're seeing the defendant. And then, a little louder at the witness chair, suddenly we're seeing the witness chair. It just jumps around that way.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
This is.
I'm not going to argue about semantics here.
What this basically indicates is that there are people in the room making noise, or it's very quiet. One of the two. If there's a lot of noise, it will jump around, and if it's very quiet, it will try to find where the people are, which is probably, since nobody's lips are moving, what's happening. Is that officer allowed to be in there if he's going to testify? Yes, he's their lead investigator. They usually get an exception. See, what was the name of the old pro se guy who was going on and on about lunch? Pretty sure it was all traffic stuff. The name? I don't know. I have a short memory.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
I have 2 torn rotator cuffs, says Groovy Cheryl. I would be I'd be murder if they tried to get my hands behind my back. Yeah. Yep. Farag. Is that the guy? The guy who left during lunch up in Tumwater, Washington. Does Greeners being voted first in chat count as an award or an achievement? As far as being first in the chat room, it's an achievement with a punishment. I wouldn't really call it an award. Yeah, Thurston Washington, that was Mr. Farag. I think, to my knowledge, he has never returned, and they just don't. No officer's going to be like, well, I've got a warrant. Let me see if he's at home. I don't think anybody wants that headache. They're just like, let's just pretend nothing happened and move forward. As long as he lays low, there won't be a problem. Okay. Oh, being funniest in chat? Ooh, funniest in chat, that's an award for sure. That would be an award.
I saw a chicken fight.
All right, judge is back. So sound effects down. Put our listening ears on. Pay attention, class. Wait for the judge to call the jury and unmute the mic. Okay, he's plugged in.
All right, are we good to go on the deposition?
Yes, with the speakers, you can hear it now.
Okay.
Can we hear it, though? This might be bad for us. Bring the jury.
You will bring the jury.
Laurie, I don't know. Amber got them for me. I have no idea. They literally just showed up in my mail this morning. Amber, are they both the same? Because I've got 2 pair. I think they're both the same. They seem to be the same. The frames are different colors.
You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Was everybody able to follow my instructions and admonitions over the lunch break? All right, we're going to hear the testimony of our next witness, who is Ms. Burns. This is going to be via videotape. It was recorded earlier, so that was just for convenience. Just treat this witness as if she were testifying live. The fact that we're playing it on a pre-recorded is of no significance to the credibility of the witness. All right, go ahead, Ms. Hyatt.
Thank you.
Oh, she's got a poker face.
All right, Ms. Hyatt, call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, we are calling Ashley Burns.
Ms. Burns, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Hyatt, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Burns, good afternoon. Sorry. Can you please tell we'll be the jury, where do you live?
In Albany, Ohio.
And just so you know, this courtroom gets a little bit, if you can just keep your voice up, because they're going to have to be able to hear you, and I want to make sure we have a good volume when we play this. And for the record, did you used to be a defense contractor?
I did.
Okay. And how long were you that?
4 years.
And did you have a clearance associated with that?
I did.
And do you still have a clearance at this point now?
I do.
Okay. And
What
prior to
clearance?
working as a defense contractor, did you ever serve in the military?
I did.
And what branch?
Secret, top
I was in the
secret.
Army.
I think
SCI.
the speaker storage the
6
jury.
years?
Yes.
And I want to thank you for your service. As a result of your time in the Army, did you have any repercussions or consequences from your service in the Army?
I had a TBI, a broken ankle, fixed femur.
Okay. And so the TBI, the traumatic brain injury, does that affect you in any way still today?
Most days, yes.
Just TBI?
Memory.
Memory, okay.
It affects your memory.
And
Oh my goodness.
How long ago was the TBI that actually, the incident that caused it?
2018.
Okay, so about 7 years ago? You have to say yes,
Yes.
or no because, you know.
Can you guys hear?
Okay. Now, in this particular case, we're asking about an incident that happened back on November 9th of last year. Do you have a memory of that incident?
I do.
Okay. And just so we know too, in order to complete your job as a defense contractor, are you?
Is that better?
Do you have any degrees that you like college degrees as a result?
I have an undergrad in pre-law. I have a master's in business, with business law being the emphasis, and then a master's in aerospace engineering.
Okay. Now, I just want to ask you, do you know the person named Riefers?
I do.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
I do.
And can you just point him out, describe what he's wearing in court today?
He's the defendant.
And what's he just wearing?
A dress shirt.
Blue?
Shirt.
Okay.
Yes.
Just for the record, that indicated the defendant Brandon Riefers, Your Honor.
Noted.
All right, can you just explain to us, how did you first meet Mr. Riefers?
Facebook dating.
And were you residing, how long ago did you start? As of November 9th of last year, what kind of time prior to that did you begin speaking with Mr. Riefers on this?
About a week, 2 weeks.
Okay, so
Somewhere
fairly
around-
short time or so?
Less than a month, I believe.
Okay. And at the time that you first initiated this Facebook dating with the defendant, were you residing in Ohio or somewhere else?
Ohio.
Okay. And was Mr. Riefers, to your knowledge, residing in Ohio or somewhere else?
With his mother in Ohio.
Okay. And had he been in Texas at any point?
Yes. He claimed that he had lived there before.
Okay. And was he residing there immediately prior to November 9th of last year?
I don't know.
Was there any indication he was coming to Ohio to see anybody?
There was an indication that he was currently living in Ohio with his mother.
It's about the best I can do.
All right, and
If they
as a
interrupt, it's going
result
to make
of
us
your
deaf.
speaking with the defendant online with Facebook dating, did you arrange an opportunity to meet face to face?
I did.
Okay. And at that time, why did you want to meet the defendant?
We had mutual connection in law enforcement and military, and he presented very attractive.
Okay. And as of before everything on November 9th, you were wanting to meet the defendant?
Correct.
Okay. And I know you don't live in Warren County, but were you coming to visit Warren County for a particular reason back on November 9th?
I was. I have a college friend that lives around here.
And for the record, who's that person?
Lindsay Davis.
Okay. And did you also know her husband, Robin Davis?
I did.
From college as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long have you and him especially been friends?
10 or 11 years.
So for a period of time?
Correct.
Okay. And have you visited Lindsay and Robin Davis before?
I have.
Okay. And do they have any children?
They do. They have one little girl.
One little girl, Charlotte?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let me ask you, let's talk a little bit about the actual date of why we're here, which is, it was a Saturday, November 9th of 2024. Sometime probably in the late morning time. Do you recall that date and time?
November.
November 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
That Saturday? Okay. And my understanding is, were you at Lindsay and Robin's house that day?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And was the defendant meeting you that day, or where were you going to be meeting?
Yes, he was meeting us.
And was that at the Davis's house or somewhere else?
At the Davis's house.
And so that Saturday morning-ish time, the defendant came to the Davis's house, And do they live, do you know, they live in Warren County?
They do, yes.
Okay. And was that the first time you met the defendant face to face?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just kind of walk us through how that progression of that day went from that point on, from the Davis's house and then beyond?
Yeah, we started.
You ready? Probably the easiest thing for you to do, Mr. Riefers, is switch chairs and slide over a little bit. So it's a fixed podium. That's the logistics of the room. It's not great. All right, go ahead.
So you started off at the Davis's house. What did you and Lindsay and Robin and the defendant do?
We started at coffee, and then from there we were trying to find a Christmas festival. The one that we initially had wanted to go to was really busy, so we had found another location. And then we stopped to look at boots and some Western wear. That was a common interest of the defendant and myself. Walked around and looked at boots and things like that, and then decided to just go find a place to eat, which ended up being 50 West or 52 West.
A local brewery?
Correct.
And that would have been one in Mason, I think?
I believe so, yes.
That's fine. I know you're not from Warren County. Let me just ask you, when you left the Davis's house, Lindsay and Robin accompanied you?
I rode with Mr. Riefers.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So Lindsay and Davis drove to this Christmas market or festival, and then you drove with the defendant?
Correct.
Okay. And do you recall what kind of motor vehicle he had?
White SUV, I believe Toyota.
Let's go Mark States Exhibit 15. Invite can to show to the witness first one.
Go ahead.
This is States Exhibit 15. Do you recognize that photograph?
I recognize the vehicle.
Okay. And does that appear to be the same type of vehicle that the defendant was driving that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not sure. Can I publish?
You can.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to show this for the jury that.
This is what number exhibit?
It's going to be Exhibit 15, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
All right. And that would have been the motor vehicle, or the same type of motor vehicle that you and the defendant drove around in on November 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And when you go to 50 West, just for the record, is that a brewery?
Yes.
Okay. And did you or Lindsay or Robin or the defendant partake in any drinking beer?
Yes.
Okay. And approximately how many beers do you recall you had that was it afternoon, evenings, or something else?
It was afternoon. There was an afternoon Ohio game on as well as WVU, so we watched both those games. I had approximately 3 beers.
3 beers, okay. And do you know if Robin or Lindsay had any beers?
1 or 2.
Okay. And what about the defendant? Did you observe if he drank anything at 50 West?
Yes, 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, are you cautious at all in ingesting alcohol? And for what reason?
I had a clearance.
And is that something that could affect your clearance?
Yes, if I got pulled over, I could lose my job.
If you were driving
Correct.
And drinking? Okay, thank you. All right, so at some point then, do all of the 4 of you leave 50 West?
Yes.
And where do you go?
We go back to Davis's house.
And for what purpose?
Just to kind of hang out. We had a couple more drinks. Sat out back. Just kind of chatted. The conversation at the brewery was going well. It appeared that the defendant and my friend's husband were getting along very well. They're both Freemasons, allegedly. And I think there was a connection point there, which made him feel comfortable. Lindsay as well, with it being their home. So he was invited back for all of us to continue conversation.
And at this point, had things still been going well between you and the defendant?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Was there any plans for like eating or dinner or anything back at the Davis's house?
We had some snacks at the brewery, and then it was proposed to just do smash burgers and fries, things like that at the house.
Okay. And after you left 50 West, were you again driving in the defendant's motor vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. And did you make any stops, the 2 of you, en route to the Davis's house?
We did.
And where did you stop?
It was one of the local liquor stores.
And for what purpose?
To buy alcohol.
Okay. And do you remember what kind of alcohol you guys purchased that afternoon?
I got a military branded bourbon, had a horse on it, horse soldier bourbon. It's an army bourbon for the special forces that went over into Afghanistan. And then I believe it was Weller Red that the defendant had picked up.
That Mr. Riefers did?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and then did you then continue, after you left the liquor store, did you then maybe go straight to the Davis's house?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right, now, if you know, had Lindsay and Robin proceeded from 50 West directly to their house, if you know?
I believe so.
Okay. And once you got back there, you indicated that you sat outside, did you have some drinks?
We did.
Okay. And what kind of drinks were going on at that point?
Robin was making old fashions. It's kind of always been his signature in all the time that I've known him. And then I believe Lindsay was drinking a couple of straight bourbons. It was kind of, everybody was just drinking bourbon.
And do you know, was this bourbon that everyone was drinking, was it from your bottle, the defendant's bottle, or something else?
I don't know.
Okay. Were you pouring any of the bourbon, or was somebody else?
The men were pouring bourbon.
I see. Okay. All right. And you have, if you recall, approximately how many bourbon-related drinks did you have, or drinks did you have that afternoon?
Probably 3 or 4.
Okay. What about, did you observe anyone else having the bourbon as well, assuming the old fashions?
Yeah, we were all drinking.
Okay. Was the defendant also having an old fashioned?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. How many, if you recall, how many approximately did Robin and or Lindsay have that?
We were all kind of drinking at the same pace, so probably 2 or 3 as well.
All right. And did you see the defendant drink 2 or 3 old fashions or something else, or?
He was drinking a lot of the Weller.
The Weller Red that you bought?
Correct.
All right. Was he drinking that straight or mixed, if you know?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you know how much of that Weller Red bottle he drank?
Significant. I mean, probably down to the label.
Overall, go ahead and continue.
And when you say down to the label, do you know like where the label is on the Weller Red bottle?
I'd say probably 3 drinks down.
3 drinks down? All right. And at some point, did you have dinner during all this, or was dinner before or after the bourbon?
We had 8 prior to coming home, and then it was like snacks, and then we had burgers and fries.
Was that burgers like while you were partaking, like everyone was partaking in burger?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that inside or outside the house that you guys were eating?
Robin was outside, tallow frying hand-cut fries, and then the rest of us were inside playing with Charlotte, the baby. And then there was a moment where the defendant walked outside to talk to Robin, hang out, I suppose.
Let me ask you, Ashley, as people were drinking that evening, did you notice any change specifically in the defendant?
He became more assertive in his desire for physical interaction.
What do you mean by that?
He wanted to have sex.
Okay,
Overall.
did he say that to you?
He did.
All right, and what was your response to when he said that's what he wanted?
I moved off of the couch. We initially were sitting side by side, and then I had kind of moved and then excused myself to let Lindsay know that we probably need to figure something out.
Okay, so let me start with why did you feel like you had to move?
He grabbed my wrist and told me that he drove all this way and it better have been worth it. And that made me nervous.
All right, and then when you sat there, and where did you and Lindsay have this conversation?
Inside the house.
Okay, where he was sitting as well, or
No, I
somewhere else?
dismissed myself and said I need to use the restroom, and then Lindsay walked in with me.
Okay, and when you said you wanted to tell Lindsay that you have to figure something else out, what did you mean by that?
That our physical safety, my physical safety, was more important than the defendant getting belligerently drunk in the back of the house.
All right, let me go a little bit deeper, I'm sorry, but okay. So when you said your physical safety, at this point, were you in fear for any physical safety issues?
Not when Robin was sitting out there, but Robin had dismissed himself to the restroom, and he had grabbed my wrist and kind of made it known that he wanted to.
Overruled.
He made it known that he wanted to stay.
To stay the night, you mean?
Correct.
Okay, at the Davis's house?
Correct.
Okay. When did you ever tell him, no, you're not interested in that night?
I don't believe a solid no was the answer. I just kind of brushed it off.
Okay, and then at this point, how was, when you dismissed yourself, how was the defendant acting when you got there?
And he just sat there.
Okay. Did he appear to be under the influence at all to you at that point?
Overruled.
Yes.
In what way? Can you just describe for us what about what you observed about him led you to believe that he appeared to be under the influence?
Based off of his behavior when we had first started hanging out, to then consuming alcohol throughout the day, and then at the house, he'd become more assertive in his conversation, and very very focused on sex.
Okay. Was there anything else about him? When you say assertive, I guess I'm just trying to make sure he was. In what way was he assertive?
He just was bringing it up verbally. Like anytime anyone would move, he would just say how much he wanted me and how I was different than everybody else and how he's never met a woman like me and with the military and commonalities and things like that.
And how did that make you feel when he was telling you all that?
Well, when it was sober, or before we started drinking, it was nice to have a connection point of being military or law enforcement or having some of the same interactions or struggles post-service. In the moment, it didn't feel great.
Okay. So when you dismissed yourself, was he still sober?
No.
Okay. What do you tell Lindsay?
That he was being very aggressive in his speech on how much he wanted to sleep with me, and that probably wouldn't be safe given that we had just met and that their baby was asleep in the bedroom that I was, like, right beside the bedroom I was staying in.
Okay. Just so we know, too, do the Davises live together in a one-story, two-story, or some other kind of house?
So they've got a finished basement and then 2 stories.
Okay, so like 3 levels. Okay. Now, after you tell Lindsay that he's being aggressive, what's the next thing that happens?
Robin comes out from the restroom and he said, well, I will talk to him and we'll see what we need to do.
All right, and were you present when Robin talked to the defendant?
I was not.
Okay. Where are you and Lindsay when Robin was talking to the defendant?
In the kitchen.
Okay. All right, and what happens after that?
So Robin had asked him to leave. I believe it was very fraternal. Hey brother, I think we're going to bed. It's probably best that you get on your way, kind of thing. And Lindsay and I had walked out to the front of where the garage is because my vehicle was there, her vehicle was there, and we just kind of wanted to make sure he was actually leaving.
Let
Like
me ask
physically
you, when
leaving.
Robin asked him to leave because everyone was going to be going to bed, what was the defendant's response?
He didn't want to go.
Before I rule on the objections, I'm confused, Ms. Burns. Were you there and observed this, or is this something that somebody told you later about how he reacted?
I was there.
Okay. The objection is overruled. Go ahead.
All right, so did he indicate verbally, physically, or something else that he didn't want to leave?
He indicated verbally that he'd like to talk it out and figure out what everybody was upset about. He asked for a moment to communicate, essentially, with anybody. I think at that point, I think there was confusion because Robin had came out and said, hey, we're all going to bed, after I had talked to Lindsay, and he was like, well, what's going on, you know, and Robin was like, no, you need to go. So Lindsay and I had stepped out where the garage was, and he then proceeded to leave.
Okay. And when he was leaving, what was his demeanor like?
He was upset.
Okay. And was Robin out there with you in the garage area when the defendant left?
Yes.
Okay. And so it was you, Lindsay, and Robin?
Yes.
Okay. And did anything happen as the defendant was leaving?
Those are all from court.
He appeared to be backing up or trying to, but he actually moved forward in the direction of Lindsay and I.
In the driveway?
Correct.
Okay.
And then immediately backed up and hit the neighbor's bush and then the car.
Okay, sorry. So he's backing out of the Davis driveway and hits a bush that is between the Davis's house and the next door house?
Correct.
Okay. And the neighbor next door had a motor vehicle parked in their driveway as well?
Yes.
Okay. Did you actually see him physically come in contact with that motor vehicle?
I did not.
Okay. Did you hear it, or how do you know that happened?
There were scratch marks on the vehicle as he had moved on. Once he had departed that driveway, there were scratch marks on that vehicle.
Did you go over and see him?
Yes.
Okay, so you did see at least some kind of damage to the motor vehicle?
Correct.
Could you hear it when he struck that motor vehicle?
No.
Okay. All right, let me ask you, you indicated that he was not sober at this point, and that was concerning to you because of his assertiveness or what have you. Was there a reason why you or anybody else didn't stop him from driving?
My physical safety at that point was my priority. He's a grown man and can make his own decisions, to include his alcohol consumption.
All right. After the defendant leaves, what happens next?
We all go inside.
And is there any further contact from the defendant?
He had tried to call, left some voicemails.
Who was he trying to call?
Me.
Okay. And about approximately, so we have an idea of time frame, he leaves, approximately how much time had passed before you received the first call from the defendant?
Oh, immediately.
Okay. And he left a voicemail, you said?
Yes.
And was there anything concerning about the voicemail to you?
Just that he wanted to come back and talk it out, that he was really confused, validated how much he liked me, how he wanted to figure it out, understand what he did wrong.
Did you respond in any way to have him come back?
No, I didn't answer.
You did not. How many times are we talking about that he called you after you left?
I think there were over 20 missed calls and like 7 voicemails.
Okay.
That's a lot of
At
calls.
some point then, you said that you and Lindsay and Robert were inside and their daughter was upstairs in her bedroom.
Correct.
All right. At some point, does the defendant in fact return?
He does.
Okay. And at this point, where can you just tell us like where everybody is as the defendant's coming back?
Yeah. So he had left a voicemail that said that he was coming back and that he wanted to talk it out. I believe the words were, I don't believe what you were doing to me, but I want to make this work. I want to figure this out. I'm coming back. And then I had told Robin and Lindsay that I believed he was returning, and Lindsay at that point was like, he has exited this home without a welcome back. So this is a problem. She was
We just
concerned
almost
about
lost
her
all
daughter,
audio.
asleep upstairs. So Robin got his shotgun, and he instructed Lindsay and I to go upstairs.
Grabs the 12 gauge.
Was Robin the only one who had a firearm?
We all had firearms.
And she brought your firearm with you?
I did.
She had her own firearm.
Always.
And you said that Robin and Lindsay had firearms as well?
Yes.
And why did you feel, let me ask you, why did you feel the necessity to arm yourself?
I always feel the necessity to arm myself. I have PTSD.
Okay. So no matter who was coming back, you would end up shooting at your gun?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, do you see the defendant return?
Yes.
You can see the motor vehicle. Does he come back into the driveway again?
He does.
Okay. And at that point, where are you physically in the house?
Physically, I'm upstairs.
Okay. And is anybody else up there with you?
Lindsay.
And I know we said Charlotte was up there originally. Is she still up there as well?
Yeah.
Is she up awake or asleep, if you know?
She's asleep.
Okay. And do you have any lights on upstairs?
No.
When you see the defendant pull the motor vehicle back to the driveway, what do you see him do once he's parked?
I only saw him park because the steps lead to the front door. Robin saw him.
Okay, well, something I told Robin saw because you didn't see that, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go with just what you saw and observed. And do you see or hear anything after he parks the motor vehicle?
Lindsay calls the police, and then Robin said, "I'm by the back sliding door."
You could hear Robin say that?
Correct.
Okay. And do you hear anything from the defendant at this point?
He had come around back and tried to talk to Robin and say, you know, that.
Let me ask you first of all, before we go into what he said, how do you know the defendant came around back and was talking to Robin?
Because Robin was standing around back and I could hear their conversation.
You could hear it from where you were upstairs? Okay. All right, so you hear a conversation between Robin and the defendant at the back door?
Correct.
Okay. And can you just describe for us, please, what was the defendant's demeanor at the back door when he was conversing with Robin?
He was just trying to talk. He wanted to know what was going on. He wanted to talk to me. I think had alluded to he wanted to work something out, figure it out, that he wasn't trying to necessarily pose a threat. He just wanted to communicate what was going on.
Okay, so he was talking in a normal tone of voice?
Correct.
Okay. Was he knocking on any windows or doors at any point at this point?
He had knocked on the front door, and then I think came around the side, but I didn't see that.
Okay. I just want to know what you observed.
Stories don't match up.
Does he, to your knowledge, does the defendant come inside the Davis's house?
No.
Do you know what happens next?
Robin just asked him to leave.
And does he leave as far as you know?
Yes.
Okay. And is that in the same motor vehicle that you had kind of been traveling with him like earlier that day? Okay. Now, when you heard the conversation between Robin and the defendant at the back door, was Lindsay on the 911 call yet or not?
Yes.
She was, okay. Now, after he leaves, do you guys still remain inside?
Yes.
Does he make any further calls to you after he leaves that second time?
Yes.
Okay. And again, are you answering these calls in any way?
There was maybe 2 out of all of them that I answered, I think, or 3. But then it was, I just muted them, so they all went to voicemail.
Okay. And do you have a conversation with the defendant then?
We had a conversation where he had apologized. He didn't know what was going on. He had said that he would like to come back, and I told him no. And then he had tried to call a couple of times further and left voicemails.
And at any point, do you have a conversation with him when police were around?
No.
Okay. So does the sheriff's office eventually arrive at the Davis house?
They do.
Okay. Do they talk to you and Robin and Lindsay about what had happened?
Yes.
Do you give any, besides verbal statements, do you give any written statements?
I don't remember.
After the sheriff's office then leaves the Davis's house, do you have any further communication with the defendant?
Not that night. He had tried to call and then text when he got out of jail.
He called, when was this? On which day? I mean,
A day or two after.
okay.
Whenever he had just gotten out of jail.
Okay. Did you ever indicate to him that you'd be willing to meet with him?
No.
Did you communicate that to him?
I communicated to him that I no longer felt safe communicating with him and to not contact me anymore.
And after you had that conversation the next day or two later, did he ever attempt to contact you again?
He tried to text me the same exact thing from his business phone, of which I copied and pasted my initial response from.
Are we talking about the same time period as the other call?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And then after that, any further contact? That's okay. No, that is all I have.
Mr. Riefers, you may inquire.
Here's Cross. Talking about hanging out and having drinks during the day.
Yes.
Do you remember my eyes being glossy or red, bloodshot?
They were red.
We also had McClellan testified earlier.
Go ahead and finish your question, Mr. Riefers.
He testified didn't have lots of bloodshot, red eyes.
Your Honor, can you get any louder so we can hear it?
I think that's as loud as it goes. Mr. Riefers, questions only.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You said when I came back, first we'll just start with ready again. You said I started becoming upset because it was about sex. Is that correct?
Correct.
You remember us having our conversation when we first started talking, but I was so adamant on relationship was not about sex for me, so I had to find an partner. Remember that? Because that was big for me.
I can boost it, but it's all noise. I can go louder.
Yes.
So we don't let about sex after. Okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection sustained. Mr. Riefers, questions only, no commentary.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's the recording's quiet into the mics today. Once this recording's over, about 4 minutes, it'll be better.
You're still upstairs?
Yes.
Great. And at any point in time, do you remember coming downstairs into the kitchen and seeing me either out in the backyard? over that direction? So you only heard what Robin and I said in the backyard from upstairs, is that correct?
Correct.
Again, on Deputy Hale's recording, Robin clearly stated.
Let him finish his question.
I'm trying to understand. She said she heard me and Robin talking in the backyard. Robin even stated in his own statement on Deputy Hale's recording that when I turned and came around the backyard, I didn't say anything. He said that you were sitting in the kitchen. I saw you.
Mr. Riefers, if you have questions for Ms. Burns, you need to ask them. The long commentary and your description of what other witnesses may or may not have testified is not proper at this point.
You did state that you were not present. You didn't see me back into the other vehicle, is that correct?
Correct.
Do you remember what you looked at this other vehicle you said?
Correct.
You noticed scratches on the side of it?
Correct.
Remember what color the vehicle was?
White.
Yeah, the honor interaction.
Mr. Riefers, this is the opportunity for you to ask questions of Ms. Burns only. It is not your opportunity to testify, and it is not your opportunity to provide commentary about what the other evidence may show.
So she
Do you
said
have
it's
any
the
more
white
questions
car.
from Ms. Burns?
Got 2.5 minutes of this.
All right, go
We'll be
ahead
done.
then.
Audio will get tons better. She said it's the white car. That was a mistake.
So you stated earlier that you talked with Robin, you guys said that you wanted to leave, is that correct? The first time? I'm not really sure how to approach this when it's on recording. Her own testimony saying that she asked me to stay and offered me some water to stay.
All you can do is ask her questions, Mr. Riefers. That's all that's appropriate.
That statement,
I not remember.
you stay there at the house?
Initially, there was conversations, yes.
Okay, we're almost done with this one. 1.5 minutes. We'll get good audio back.
Just out of curiosity, the voicemails you said that there was approximately 20 missed calls and 7 voicemails. Did you have to screenshot those people recordings?
No.
And you were absolutely sure that it was a white vehicle that was scratched?
Overruled. Go ahead and answer.
No.
Anything else for this witness?
Just very briefly.
Little redirect, 1 minute.
Ashley, can you tell us, initially when you first started talking with the defendant, you indicated that it was not about sex?
Correct.
Okay. And he agreed apparently, initially?
Yes.
Okay. On November 9th of 2024, did it become about sex?
I did.
And let me ask you, when he asked you the question about wanting him to stay or offering him water, do you know if that was before or after you became assertive and grabbed your wrist?
That was before.
You know, that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Riefers, any questions based on those questions?
No, Your Honor, I move to impeach the witness testimony based on that video.
Okay, now we're back to live. That witness was unavailable. And so they played that video live in court. I mean, they just barely played this one. Now we're back to live video. As the
Next witness?
Your Honor, the state would call Robin Davis.
This is the guy who grabbed the shotgun. A couple problems with the testimony from the last witness. She never once mentioned that she was struck by the car. That didn't happen, apparently. She says she wasn't down in the kitchen and saw him in the backyard. She was upstairs. So that testimony doesn't match up with what the other one said. She says she brought her own gun instead of got one from her friend. So there's some discrepancies.
Good
And she also had more
Can you
drinks.
please state your name and spell your first name for the court reporter, please?
Yes, Robin Davis. First name's Robin.
And Mr. Davis, can you tell the jury what is your occupation?
I'm a consulting engineer, senior consulting engineer with a company called FM, Factory Mutual.
And just from my own personal family experience, I know there's different kinds of engineering. What type are you?
Schooling's mechanical, so I work with a lot of industrial plants.
How long have you been an engineer?
That's a good face.
14 years, roughly. 13, 14 years, somewhere in that ballpark.
That's his
And
thinking
we've heard
face.
from Lindsay, but officially you're married to Lindsay Davis.
Yes,
You
married,
have
yeah.
a beautiful daughter, Charlotte.
That's correct.
What is your address?
5539.
123 Sesame Street was what it was.
Do you know, is that Deerfield Township as well?
Yes. Yeah,
Warren
Deerfield.
County?
Warren County, yep.
And you know Ashley Burns?
That's correct.
And also the defendant?
Correct.
And how do you know him?
We met the evening, Ashley was seeing Brandon, and we met that day just to kind of hang out and spend and get to meet one another.
And that's the same day that we're here for?
That's correct, yeah, earlier in the day, that's
Okay.
correct.
And that would be November 9th of last year?
Yes, that's correct.
How long have you known Ashley?
2012, roughly? 2011, 2012, right in there. Since then.
Officially, where did you meet her?
Oh, where? I'm sorry.
No. You were right. I asked how long, but
Gotcha.
where did you meet her?
At school, West Virginia Tech, where we went to school.
Let's talk a little bit about why we're here. So it's Saturday, November 9th of 2024. Earlier in that morning, is that the first time you would have met, and just for the record, do you see Brandon Riefers in the courtroom today?
Oh, yes, I do, yes.
And just for the record, what is he wearing in court today?
Blue shirt.
And noting the defendant, Your Honor.
Noted.
That morning was the first time you met the defendant. What, can you just briefly walk us through your day?
Yeah. He came by the house through Ashley's invitation through us. Came by the house earlier in the morning, ballpark, roughly 10. Just kind of introduced. We had some coffee at the house. We had planned, just go out, spend time together throughout the day, just kind of hang out, enjoy a nice Saturday. The weather was great. Came by the house about 10, hung out for about an hour while we finished getting ready, get our daughter together, which is a nightmare, and before we headed out to spend some time out in the city.
Where do you remember where you went?
Oh, a few places. We tried to go to the Christmas market at the Sharonville Convention Center, but that was a nightmare of trying to get in. The traffic was backed up like almost a mile. So then we went over to Entertainment Junction for a little bit. They did some shopping, and then from there we went to the new 50 West Brewing, had just opened up maybe a month or so before. So we went and hung out at 50 West Brewing, let Charlotte play in the sand, and just kind of spent time hanging out there.
When you were traveling from your house to these different locations, were you all together in the same vehicle or more than one vehicle?
2 vehicles. Ashley and Brandon were in one vehicle, and then my wife and I and the kid were in another.
Do you recall what kind of motor vehicle the defendant was driving?
It was a white Toyota, I believe it's a Highlander.
Now at 50 West, did you partake in any type of beer?
Yes. Yeah, we all had, I think, one drink, maybe two drinks. Over about 2.5 hours. We had a lot of food as well, and just kind of, the weather was great. Charlotte was playing in the sand, so we just kind of had a great, probably close to 2.5 hours there. I know I had 2 beers.
Who was the designated driver that day?
I was, for us, at 2, and then I believe Brandon was with the other. I think you saw him get in to drive.
All right, so you had 2 beers that day, okay, over a 2.5 hour period,
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
All right.
exactly, yeah.
And along with the food, do you remember approximately how long or when it was that you left?
It would have been around Charlotte's nap time, so roughly 2:30-ish.
Now at this point, you've had some interaction with the defendant for at least a few hours. Can you just tell us what was your initial impression of him?
It seemed like a nice guy. He was very polite, very well spoken. We had a great time. He was, I guess, cordial and everything. Even offered to buy a round of the drinks. So I mean, it was a good day so far. He was very nice.
And when you said that you had a couple of beers, was that similar for everybody, or was anyone drinking more or less than 2 beers?
I'm trying to think back. I think Ashley and Brandon might have had a third. I'm not 100% sure of that. I know my wife and I, because I was the one buying ours, was just 2 drinks. But I know they had, both times we went to the bar together. So I think, I know they had at least the 2, and I think they may have made a third trip.
When you say they, who are you talking
Oh, sorry, Brandon and Ashley. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. At this point, when you leave 50 West, did you notice any change in the defendant's demeanor from what it had been all that day?
Not at that time, no.
What was the plan to do or go next?
So we went back to our house to put Charlotte down. The plan was to everybody would come back to the house and we would cook dinner. We already had some plans for burgers and everything, plenty of food, and just kind of keep spending the time together, maybe have a couple drinks and just kind of hang out at the house a little bit and enjoy the rest of the evening together.
Now, I understand from Lindsay that you are kind of like a bourbon lover. I don't know if that
Try to
sounds
be.
bad, but
Definitely not aficionado, but that is my go-to, yes.
Now, what kind of bourbon do you drink?
Typically, I like a Weller, weeded bourbon. Weller's usually my go-to. It's a common one, but usually a weeded type bourbon.
And on this particular day, did you have bourbon back at your house?
Yes, we had a little bit back at our house, yes.
Now, when you left 50 West, did you go directly home?
We did, yes. My wife, myself, me, Lindsay, and Charlotte went directly home.
Do you know if Ashley and Defendant went straight from 50 West to your residence?
As far as I know, they did not, because they came back to the house with additional alcohol and said they'd stop by the local, I can't remember which one, but the local store.
Do you recall what kind of bourbon that the defendant had purchased?
The local bourbon store.
The defendant had purchased a bottle of Weller, it's the, oh, come on, brain. It's the red label, the Antique 107.
Okay. And when...
Do you know where the label goes to on the bottle?
When you first get back to your house, do you immediately start dinner, or do you have beverages or apps, or how does that evening kind of play out?
So to start with, when Lindsay and I get home, we put our little one down and we just kind of relax. It's our very free time from the little one. But once everybody kind of rejoins about an hour later, my wife and I start putting dinner together. I'm handling the grilling. We made some homemade fries out in our fryer with some beef tallow. So I was kind of doing a lot of the cooking. Lindsay was helping me with the prep, with cutting up potatoes and stuff. And then we didn't start drinking until after I had started cooking. For me, Brandon had offered me a drink of the bourbon after I was out at the hot grill, so we just started drinking there, offered me one. And I was standing over the hot grill, so I remember cheersing and having a drink, but I didn't drink the whole thing because it was actually there the next morning still out on the table.
Okay. Do you recall which bourbon you were given from the defendant?
I believe it was the Weller Red.
And how was that? How did you have that? Was it just straight bourbon? Was it mixed with other mixers?
At that time, it was just on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Straight.
Did the defendant also have
Straight
a bourbon
with
with you when he brought you one out at the grill?
Yes.
Now, at this point, prior to dinner being prepared or completed, how many approximately bourbons did you or the defendant drink in your presence?
Just the one, during that cooking period, just the one.
For each of you?
Yeah, like I said, mine I didn't even finish the full cup, but did drink from one, and then he drank his one at the same time.
You had dinner, I'm assuming?
Yep.
After dinner, do you have any bourbon with dinner?
I did not. Brandon did. He got a refill. I think the rest of the group, if I remember right, Ashley did. I don't remember if I don't think Lindsay did. But just as we were eating dinner, all sitting around. And then I know we just, after everything settled, we got the little one down. We just kind of hung out the rest of the evening and did continue to have some drinks.
And when the defendant had another drink of bourbon at dinner, do you recall what kind? I mean, was it straight bourbon again on the rocks, or was it something different?
It was still on the rocks. I didn't see which of the bottles, but it was straight. It was still on the rocks.
After dinner, did you prepare any bourbon drinks for yourself or anyone else?
Yes. After dinner, I made one for myself. I did an old fashioned.
The judge
And
is
at least for a while, that was all that I prepared. I made Lindsay one real late in the evening, but for myself, I just made the one before we went out to our sunroom to kind of relax.
As the sunroom that has like the stove in
Exactly,
it.
yes.
Now, when you prepared your old fashioned, did you use the Defendant's bourbon, your bourbon, or something else?
Mine.
And that would have been the Weller that you have?
That would have been, I had Weller as well. I used Buffalo Trace for my old fashions.
Buffalo Trace for, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've learned so much about drinks.
Do you recall approximately how many old fashions you would have consumed?
After dinner, I had one. I would say 1.5. I never finished the last one, but one while we had a cigar in the sunroom.
You and the Defendant?
Yes, that's correct.
Sometimes women partake in that too, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I did make Lindsay one when I went for my second one, but neither one of us got a chance to really finish it.
And these are old fashions that you're talking about?
That's correct, yes.
And after the one bourbon that the Defendant had with dinner, do you recall approximately how many more bourbons, if any, did he consume over the rest of that evening?
I know of at least 3 on the rocks. I remember him getting
5?
refills. He brought Ashley a refill at least once. But at least 3, possibly more.
After dinner?
That's correct, yeah, while we're having cigars in the sunroom, yes.
So at this point then, with the 3 after dinner, the 1 with dinner, and the 1, we're looking at approximately 5 bourbons that evening or afternoon into evening?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Did you ever have a chance to see how much of the Weller Red the Defendant consumed?
When I got a chance to see it, before the bottles were combined, roughly half, maybe
the bottles
between
were combined?
1/3 and 1/2, somewhere there. Not quite a full half.
Of the bottle was gone?
That's correct, yeah.
And it had been full originally?
Yeah, brand new, yeah.
Now you said before they were combined, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Just at one point through the evening, Brandon, so I had the Weller Red, or he had his Weller Red, I had Weller Green, and he had the idea of just consolidating bottles, which for anybody that drinks bourbon is kind of odd, but he thought it was, hey, I'm just going to put them both in one and we'll throw the other bottle away.
All right. At this point then, after he's consumed these other 3 drinks, or as he's consuming these 3 drinks after dinner, did you notice any change in Brandon's behavior?
Yeah, towards the end, after 3, 4, whatever drinks, just a little bit more agitated, a little bit more kind of tense.
Means brown.
Just body language had changed. You
brown.
could tell he just went from a happy-go-lucky to kind of something was bothering him. Just bothered.
What about what you observed about his demeanor led you to believe that?
Just very short sentences. The looks on his face, facial expressions. I'm trying to think of a good example, but he was very, as with most alcohol, once you start drinking, very boisterous and happy and fixated on some things that he thought was awesome. And then that shifted to kind of quiet and short answers, and kind of had that sting of attitude behind it when he would answer. Just kind of, you see that shift.
Were you becoming concerned about his intoxication level at this point?
Yes. Lindsay and I kind of had a little side conversation at one point around that, about whether or not to offer to stay the night and stop drinking, because we could tell it had reached a point of we had too many, and we were like, we need to figure out an out, for lack of a better way to say it.
We had too many?
An out in what way do you mean?
Just how do we kind of, what's the right word I'm thinking of here? How do we prevent it from getting worse, I guess? How do we, is he going to drive home? Is he going to call a cab? Do we just need to kind of separate? Do we need to kind of all say, all right, it's bedtime, just to kind of, to keep it from progressing? How do we kind of just put a stop to it?
And we've talked about any change in the Defendant's demeanor. Did you notice during the evening after dinner any change in Ashley's demeanor?
Not at first, but there was a change. Kind of her demeanor started to change as his demeanor started to change. At first, I didn't really even know what it was, but you could tell that there was I don't know of a better way to phrase it, but almost like a lover's quarrel, kind of upset. You could tell something wasn't kosher in their world.
After observing those changes, do you become informed, or do you have a reason to want the defendant to leave your home?
So, let's see. Towards the very end of the night, Lindsay had approached me and basically had told me that Ashley was concerned. There had been some pressure to kind of do something sexually, to kind of go to the next level of relationship side of things. She wasn't comfortable with that. Between the alcohol, the timing, they'd only started seeing each other. So she'd kind of expressed concern of like, how do we ask him to leave? Is there a way that us being our house, if we could say, hey, we're ready to wind down for the evening, want to wish you a good evening, what have you? How can we kind of help break that or create a separation there so we can kind of step away and let the alcohol kind of subside?
So based on what you're being kind of informed about, what was your response to the defendant at that point?
I actually didn't get a chance to really talk to him at that point because it was shortly after that he had left the first time. I was inside when they came in to tell me what was going on, and then shortly after that, before I had a chance to even go back to the sunroom, was when he left the first time.
Where were you when he left your house?
I had gone to the restroom at that point in time, and then I came back.
What level? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the basement.
No, you're fine.
It was
but
number
what
2.
level? Just before we get too far, what level was your
My bad.
restroom?
Misheard the
I
question.
went to my basement restroom.
I see.
It's kind of my little zen area.
Did you go for any other
It's
purpose
nice
to your
in there,
basement as
yeah.
well?
At that time, because of the concern, I'd gone to kind of set out my handgun that I keep locked up in my safe. Just more of a precaution. I didn't even bring it upstairs at that moment. It was just kind of we have a very uneasy situation. I come from a family of alcoholics. I've had more than a few bad situations, so I was like, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more prepared before I come back up and we see what's going on.
When you do
Drunk,
come
got the gun out of the
upstairs,
safe.
what do you observe, or who's still in the house? We'll start with who's still in the house.
When I first came upstairs, nobody was in the house, but within a minute, like as I'm walking around to find everybody, Ashley and Lindsay come back in through our garage door into the house to tell me what had just occurred outside.
What was their demeanor coming back inside?
Scared. Yeah, absolutely scared. That's whenever they told me what was going on and what had just happened. We kind of took a second. I mean, it was no more than 30 seconds at most. And I was like, all right, well, let me go down. Let me get my handgun. Let's just kind of create for lack of a word, a fortress. Let's lock everything up, turn off the lights. We're done for the night. Let's just lock up and be done.
And without going into all they told you, but where was this incident that they were telling you about? Where did that occur at?
Oh, in our driveway.
Okay. At this point,
wow,
to your knowledge, or do you know, had the defendant actually completely left your property?
They said that he did. I did not see his car when I looked outside in the driveway. So from everything I could see, he had fully left the property.
Were you concerned at all about him driving at this point?
We were slightly concerned, yes.
Were you
Enough to do
present,
anything?
or let me start with, after the defendant left your property, did he ever make contact with anybody inside your residence?
He was trying to still call and text Ashley during that time.
All right, and you were present when he was at least trying to call her or text her?
Yes, all three of us were in the kitchen. At one point in time when she answered on speakerphone, it was basically said, "You're not welcome back. We'll talk about this later. I don't want to talk right now. Don't come back," et cetera, and basically hung up on him.
So when he was on the speakerphone that you heard, was he wanting to come back?
Yes, he wanted to come back and talk to Ashley, try to figure it out. I didn't really hear anything about apologizing, but basically, like, we need to figure this out. I want to talk through it. I just don't need to talk to you, et cetera, stuff like that.
All right, so he's told not to come back. Are you concerned that he still may try to come back?
At that moment in time, it was a slight concern, but I was like, well, okay. Like, clearly he's not welcome. At that very moment in time, it was a slight concern, but I was like, I don't think it's going to happen. My brain's saying, realistically, probably not.
And where are you and Ashley and Lindsay located in the house after these calls had been happening?
During all of that time, we sat in our kitchen, where we have a couple chairs, like a little coffee nook. You can see out the front, one of the front windows to the driveway. So it's kind of a good vantage point just to see, but also it was just a good area to just kind of sit with comfy chairs and try to let the nerves calm down a little bit.
Sure. And when you're sitting there, do you observe anything outside your residence?
After a few minutes, we see a car pulling back in, and then I kind of nudge over and look out the window, and we realize that it's Brandon coming back to the house. And at that point in time, I told Ashley and Lindsay to get upstairs and call 911 at that point.
Okay. Do you know where Brandon comes when he returns to your house?
He first tries to come to the front door, knocks, a little bit of pounding, just trying, trying to get attention at the front door. When he's not, we have all the lights and everything turned off. When he doesn't get anybody at the front door, he kind of works around the side of the house through our fence to the back door, and that's where I meet him, is at the back door.
And when he is at your front door, can you see him? I mean, is your front door the type that you can kind of see through, or see that there's somebody on the other side, or is it a solid door?
No, you can see. We have some of the sticky stuff on the window that kind of makes it look like stained glass, but you can see, clearly see a silhouette of a person. And there's side windows, too, that you can see who it is.
Now, at some point after he's at your front door, do you observe where he goes after that?
I did not. I saw him kind of go back towards the vehicles, which is also the way around the house that he came. But in that moment, it just looked like he was walking back to his vehicle.
Do you see him after that anywhere around your house?
Within a minute or two, I see him. I'm kind of looking around, trying to see what's going on, and I see him in our backyard. I first see him through our kitchen window, and he's making his way to our back door. I think he was hoping to, if we were in the sunroom, or try to get through the sunroom, since that's where we were hanging out earlier. Couldn't do that. That was locked up, so he kept working his way around to our back patio door.
Does he, the defendant, does he say or do anything at your back patio door?
He knocks and does some pounding on the window first to get attention, and then I actually kind of crack the window and tell him, "You're not welcome. She's not looking to talk to you. You just need to leave." And he said something along the lines of, I just need to talk to her. I need to figure out what's going on. I need to apologize. I said, "Nope, now's not the time. You just need to leave." And then called me, I think it was fucking asshole or something, just aggravated. I think, I know no asshole was said in there, but definitely just aggravated, and then turned and started walking back away. I know he hit our door, or well, I shouldn't say door, the sliding door, but it's our sunroom window. I could hear the thud of the hollow glass. And then slammed the gate. I could hear that as he went away, too. Both of those were loud enough, even in the house, you could hear
that. So he didn't climb the fence?
Do you try to keep an eye on him as he walks around the rear of your house?
The best I could. Our house at the time, there wasn't an easy way to be in the house and see that, what I would call the far side, through our garage. But I watched him through the kitchen window walk around towards the sunroom, and then kept an eye out when he got back into his car.
Did he leave your residence at that point?
Yes.
Do you see, is there only one way to go when you're leaving Old Farm Drive?
There's two different ways. If you hang a left, it takes you to Snyder through a couple other streets. If you go right, it takes you through Kensington out to Fields Circle. So it just depends on when you leave our driveway. If you go left, it takes you to one main. If you go right, it takes you to the other main.
Were you able to see which direction he decided to go?
Yes, he took left, so I assumed he was going towards Snyder.
After you see him exit your house or your driveway, what do you do?
We all just kind of convene. Once I kind of know the car's gone, Ashley and Lindsay stayed kind of at the top of the stairs, and I was at the bottom of the stairs. At that time, Lindsay was on with 911, because I know she asked me which direction he went, so I told her. And we just kind of wait at that point. We all kind of huddled up right there at the stairs, because it's kind of the central area to protect the upstairs, and just kind of waited for the police.
And I'm assuming the police eventually arrived?
Eventually, yeah. Knowing what we know now, we actually were complaining how slow it was, but we know that they had stopped him before reaching our house to talk to us. So there was, in the moment we were annoyed, but we now know why.
Did you give them verbal statements?
Yes. They ask us some questions and whatnot.
Do you ever provide a written statement to the police?
I don't recall if there was anything written or if it was just verbal questions at that time. I don't remember writing anything.
After November 9th,
you guys don't remember.
Did you ever have any further contact with Brandon Riefers?
No, not until, I guess, the trial in general.
That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Riefers, you may inquire.
Your Honor, if I may, can I have just a 2-minute recess to get a couple things?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take, let's go ahead and take about a 5-minute recess, 5 to 8. There's no such thing as a 5-minute recess, probably taking more like 8 minutes. And we'll be back here ready to go.
Judge says the quiet part out loud.
Remember what I told you, don't start thinking about the case or talking about the case. Scroll click and take the jury out.
So I'm looking at the house here. Looking at Google Maps satellite view imagery. Huh. I don't know. I'm not going to dox anybody, so I can't put it on the air, but these houses they're like secluded from the road. So there's a row of houses and then behind their yards.
So let's be back here in 8 minutes.
Sounds good, Judge.
All right.
Sure you want to stay? Judge, well, just in case something happened. He's not feeling great. He's going to be my next witness, but I just want to give you a heads up. If he's starting to feel really bad after he testifies, he may just leave for the day. So I just wanted to give you a heads up.
It's okay with me?
Okay. Yeah, so just do that. Thanks, Robert. You were paying for money?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Oh, okay. Good job.
It was the lunch.
Yep,
It was the lunch. Whatever's in that brown bag. Who brought the lunch?
Yeah, I just don't want you to feel like.
Okay. So, can you tell from the satellite if there's taillight pieces? I zoomed in. I don't see any purple coconut. The stories aren't matching up. The Simply Safe doorbell camera not matching up to the stories. The two girls not matching up to each other. The husband not matching up to the two girls. Everybody has a different story. Other than the fact that all of them drank, well, most of them say all of them drank a bunch of bourbon. And everybody had a gun. That's what we know. That's the only place where the stories come together. Now, one person says that let's see, the witness here, Robin, had a shotgun. A shotgun is typically what's referred to as a long gun because it's in the rifle shape. It's the type that's sort of held up to the shoulder or sometimes pistol grip, two-hand grip. Even a shorter, a Remington 870 or something, still a long gun. Still a long gun, even if it's got a shorter barrel. Much longer than a pistol. But he's saying he got a pistol. Where the guns came from, the wife says we keep them in the highest drawer on each side of the bed. Each of us has a gun up there. He says I keep it down in my safe, locked in a safe in the basement. Wife says I gave my friend my husband's gun from his drawer. The friend says I brought my own gun to the party. It was a BYOG situation. A lot of people have super hearing. I was upstairs, but I heard the conversation downstairs outside the kitchen door. That's good. That's good hearing. Good on you. I wasn't down there, but my friend said I was down there and watched everything. I think drinking might have been the problem. It's BYOG. You didn't think it was a thing, BYOG, but it is. Ask Ian Runkle. He will tell you that BYOG is definitely a thing for some parties.
Because we here in Canada hate you and hope for bad things for you because we hate you.
Right. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. It was... They overserved. He served himself. This was not them serving him. Robin said nothing about Ashley getting hit by the car. Ashley said nothing about her getting hit by the car. But Robin's wife said that Ashley got hit by the car. The white car, Ashley says, definitely the one that was scratched and was impacted. The wife said it was the white car, then changed it to the black car because they checked the white car. There were no scratches, so it must have been the black car that they heard getting hit. And both of them shook when he crashed into them. And Ashley says it was definitely the white car, but she's not sure. I think I've got all the facts. I'm ready. I'm ready here. And we practice. Stop talking. Stop talking. Don't talk, Mr. Witness. Don't talk to anyone. Oh, now he's got 2 phones. Says he only has a work phone. Has 2 phones in his pocket. I see how that is. This is a great case. They're talking to the witness without the defendant there. Probably about bourbon, if I was guessing.
I'm trying to have court. Don't raise your voice.
This is nuts. I'm curious why all of these individuals did not get charged with the same offense related to carrying a firearm while intoxicated, while under the influence. Basically, everyone's admitted to it on the stand at this point. Would you like a mint? Oh yeah, I've got bourbon breath. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Here, have a mint. That's what I use. It hides it. Why in the world would they be talking to him right now? This is crazy. You can see the 2 speakers set up in front of the officer. Those are the speakers that are playing the audio from the recording, from the deposition of Ashley that we heard. They pointed them to the jury so the jury could hear, which unfortunately pointed them away from the microphones where we were listening, so we could not hear. He's sick and he's trying to share mints. Yeah, what a friend. The officer gave Lindsay a mint earlier. The officer's been offering mints to everyone. They didn't see them with the guns. That's probably it. But they responded. Did they put all the guns away before the cops showed up? State and 2 witnesses talking with no court officials present. That's pretty much the state of things. Judge is here now. We're here now. We're back. Now it's back on the record. You guys didn't talk while I was gone, did you? No, sir. Yeah, allergies are terrible. We've still got a little bit of crepe myrtle tree bloom going on. It's lasted like all summer, but a couple of trees are still blooming. Defense walks back in and says, "What did we miss? A lot, unfortunately, a lot." Bribery in plain sight. It's all for the Altoids. What's the drink he brought? Is that a Sprite? Maybe a 7-Up?
You know, I put Ashley's flash drive over the testimony over there by you.
I just call it right here. I think the defense is going to improperly try to impeach this witness. That's what we're going to get. And we're going to get an objection. And it's going to be sustained. Is he really a bourbon aficionado if he allows strangers to mix bourbons in front of him? Ohio has a castle doctrine. No duty to retreat. Right, it's voided if you're intoxicated. They've all testified they had guns. All 3 of the other parties testified they had guns.
Mr. Riefers, you may inquire.
Thank you.
I guess our jury's back. Here we go.
Yeah, you had a couple of questions on some stuff that you were saying. So, let's see. You stated the same thing as kind of what Ashley did, that I had 1 to 2 drinks, maybe 3 at lunchtime. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is that correct?
And then one of the other questions I had, you stated that we were drinking Weller. Do you remember what Ashley was drinking?
Yes, it was, I know it was Horse Soldier. I can't remember which variety, but it was Horse Soldier.
Horse Soldier. Okay. And is that a bottle that she had brought, or was that yours?
Yeah, a bottle that she had purchased as well, yeah.
And would it surprise you that your wife had stated that it was a bottle that you had?
Good question.
I don't know.
Is that correct?
Ricky, I just barely made that. Just hit the button. I hit it manually.
And when we were sitting outside having cigars, was Ashley with us?
Yes.
And do you remember sitting at the back picnic table when we were grilling out?
Yes.
Okay. You were sitting at the front of the table. Ashley was here in the middle, and I was sitting behind her.
Yes.
Do you remember her keep grabbing my hand and pulling it around her and saying she liked me?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
And then...
Okay. Everyone's testified that that did happen. Various
this is where
degrees.
I start getting confused. Okay, so when I left, where were you?
In the basement on my way up, basically to the upstairs, more or less, finishing my restroom trip, and then coming upstairs, and like I said, within a minute or no more than 2 minutes, probably closer to a minute, for me returning up the stairs is whenever they came in the house. The ladies came in the house, Ashley and Lindsay.
Okay, and they came in from?
From the garage, from the driveway garage, through the garage, from being in the driveway.
And would it surprise you that your wife had testified just earlier that
Objection.
you and her
Overall.
and Ashley were in the garage?
I mean, don't know if I can.
Were you present when I backed up and left?
No, I was not.
Thank you.
So he's impeaching his wife with that question. A little improper, but the way he got it in, judge allowed it.
And you stated that you guys were in the kitchen after I left, and I had called Ashley, and she answered it, and you guys put it on speakerphone, and we had a conversation?
Correct. Very short one, yes.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know that Ashley testified she didn't answer the first time I called?
There were multiple calls and multiple texts.
Okay.
I know there was a few send to voicemails.
Okay. And then you just stated, too, that which we saw on the Ring camera, that tried to knock on the front door, whatever, and then walked around the side gate, which was on the side of the garage. It goes to your little sunroom that has the little fireplace that we were all sitting at. But when I walked around the back, that's when you met me, and you were already outside. Do you remember that?
I did not leave the house when out back.
Right. So you were out there the whole time, is what I'm saying.
No, I was in my house at the back patio door. So I slid the door open, but I never stepped outside of my house.
Okay. And do you remember what you said when I come around the back?
She doesn't want to see you. You're not welcome. You just need to leave.
Okay. Would it surprise you on Deputy Hale and Deputy Carter's about 20 minutes and 30 seconds in, it said when he was coming to the back door, he said okay and walked away?
At that time, maybe, yeah.
He's doing an okay
And you
job.
didn't see any of these missed calls or text messages that Ashley was saying that I called that many times?
I just saw that they had showed up on the phone. I didn't read any of the messages or anything.
All right. So over throughout the whole night, you saw me have 3 to 5 drinks in the evening while we were there?
I would say 5, yeah.
Okay, 3 to 5. All right.
How many drinks would take you down to the top of the label? Ask him that.
And
He would
then
know.
we were all drinking about the same pace, roughly. And you said we were having the Weller or Old Fashions or whatever. Did Ashley have any of those?
She had some of her Horse Soldier. The Old Fashions was just me and Lindsay. But I know she had some drinks as well, yes.
Okay. And how many drinks did you have total throughout the night?
The partial one was before dinner, and then out in the garage I had 1. probably, I would say the size I make them, 1.5 old fashions, and made a second one, but didn't really get a chance to drink it.
Okay. And then the other question that I had, you said you'd gone to your basement and you came up with your pistol,
big mug,
handgun. Is that correct?
The second time I went to the basement, yes.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know your wife just testified a little bit ago that it was a shotgun? That's a big difference.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, ask a question, Mr. Riefers.
Would it surprise you?
Surprise you that your wife testified you went down and got a shotgun, not a handgun?
And that, I mean, does it surprise me? In that moment with everything, I would say it doesn't, just because of the intensity of everything.
All right. And then, you remember stating to Deputy Hale and Deputy Carter while you were, because you guys didn't do a written statement, but you remember stating that after he said turn and walked away, you said later, I don't think he was necessarily trying to break in or get to her. It was like, oh fuck, it's not just her, and then chose to do what he did and left. So I don't see attempted burglary really applies for what it's worth.
Yeah, I still agree with that. I don't think, you were agitated, wanted to see her, and we had some fear, but I don't think you were actively like trying to cause damage or burglarize the house necessarily or anything like that.
Thank you. And then when I came back and walked back around the back, met you in the back, you said you didn't want to see me, said okay, and I left.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Even staying calm is helping a ton.
Do you happen to know which vehicle that I backed into?
I know it was our neighbor's black SUV, and I believe it was their newer Jeep. Their newer Jeep, but they also have had 2 black SUVs, and I can't remember if it was before they upgraded to the Jeep or if it was their previous black SUV.
Okay. Did you see this? You weren't present?
I was not. Sorry, yes, I was not. I did not see the vehicle get hit, no.
Okay. Did you see any damage afterwards?
I did not. I did not inspect their vehicle.
Okay.
So he doesn't know which one got hit.
Would it surprise you that you yourself even told Deputy Hale and Carter when you were there, along with Lindsay, that you guys weren't sure if it was a white car or not, but you thought it was a white car?
Probably. I could see that. Being at night, yep.
This guy's not.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
Anything else for this witness?
Just briefly. Robin, when you were testifying that you saw Ashley grabbing the defendant's hand and pulling it around her, saying that she liked him, what time period during that evening or afternoon were you observing that?
That's why I was outside cooking.
So before dinner?
That's correct, yes.
And before dinner, just to be certain, had the defendant's demeanor changed in the way it changed later on after dinner?
It had not, no.
Okay.
Defendant's demeanor had not changed? That was the wrong answer.
Do you have a memory, can you tell us today, of the defendant just walking around to your sliding door, not touching anything, you telling him Ashley doesn't want to see him, he says okay and leaves and doesn't do anything else?
I remember it was overall cordial. I think there was more than just said okay that I can recall, but there wasn't a, I'm trying to think the right way to phrase it, there wasn't a I'm going to fight you type negativity or anything. It was just more of a pissed because he wanted to do something and basically couldn't, but it wasn't like a you fucking asshole and then cussing up now, just more like fuck and then okay and then just kind of left.
So he did call you a fucking asshole, but that was overall cordial?
Cordial.
In a nice way, I'm assuming.
In context of the situation, in my opinion, it could have been a lot worse. So that's why I kind of look at that as, I always joke I've been called a lot worse.
Okay. And when the defendant asked you that you and he were pacing each other that evening with your drinking, did you actually consume 5 bourbons that evening?
No, I can't. I had gastric bypass surgery roughly 2-ish years ago, 2.5. So
2.5
I can't do that much. It makes me sick to my stomach. Now, as far as were we drinking at the same time? Yes. The pace at which we were refilling was not the same.
Thank you.
Are we done?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's all I had.
Mr. Riefers, any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted to clarify. You said when I came around the back, just so we're all clear and on the same page, are you saying that I called you an asshole and then left?
Yes.
Why didn't you state that to the deputies up front to begin with?
I just didn't think it was that important in that moment. Like I said, I've been called worse. So.
Okay. That's kind of what I was curious on is, because what you testified is you literally said...
Objection.
Yeah, let's ask a question, Mr. Riefers.
Okay. Again, stating, did you state to Deputy Hale and Carter while they were there, quote, when he was coming to the back door, he said, okay, and walked away?
In that moment, that's, yeah.
Okay, so, thank you.
Sounds more cordial, the way it's written there. Is cordial a drink?
That's it. No further questions. All right, thank you, sir. You can step down. You're free to go. Next witness?
Sergeant Simpson.
Sergeant Simpson, who might need to run to the restroom if he's not feeling well.
From the testimony during these proceedings will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Sherry cordials and ice cream.
Thank
was
you.
close.
Good afternoon. Sergeant, can you please state your name
Some people
and
think so,
spell
sir.
your spell your first and last name for the record?
It's Jack Simpson, Jacksimson.
Hi, Jack.
And for the record, what is your occupation?
I'm a sergeant for the Warren County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
In 2 days, it'll be 23 years, or finishing my 23rd year.
And how long have you been a sergeant with the Sheriff's Office?
Since September of 2018.
Okay, so since I don't do math, was that 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
And would you please tell the jury what type of sergeant? You're a road sergeant?
I'm a road patrol supervisor.
And what does that mean?
Basically, that means I have administrative duties. I take care of scheduling, making sure my crew is going to calls. I control the chaos. When my guys are going to scenes and stuff, I control the scenes. I'm kind of that extra layer above them to control things.
So are you actively looking for traffic violators or investigating crimes or anything as a road sergeant?
Not on a regular basis, but this particular night we were really busy, and at the time that this call came in, I was the only unit available. There was 4 deputies and 3 deputies and another sergeant working, but I was the only one available, and it was all on the other side of Deerfield Township, taking care of other calls.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So Saturday, November 9th of 24, about 11:30, you were obviously on duty as a road patrol sergeant.
That's correct.
What shift would you have been working?
I work 4 p.m. to midnights typically.
So that means you would have been getting off in about half an hour.
That's correct, yes.
All right. And you were in like a similar uniform of the day and in a marked cruiser?
Yes, but the only difference in my uniform now is a long sleeve shirt versus my short sleeve now.
And you already told us that you were like the only one available. Do you actually...
Sergeants have to wear long sleeves.
Do you recall being actually dispatched to, what is it, 5539 Old Farm Drive?
Yes, myself, I was dispatched, and there was another deputy coming on from, we call it First Watch, which is our midnight to 8 shift. He had just signed on from his house, and he was approximately 10 miles, 15 miles from the location that this call was at. So he was coming from a long distance away to back me up.
I'm sorry, to back you up?
To back me up.
Thank you. Now, 5539 Old Farm Drive, that is in fact in Deerfield Township, Warren County, Ohio?
It is Deerfield Township, Warren County, yes.
All right. Can you tell the jury, please, what was the nature of your dispatch to that location?
So we was dispatched, initially it came out as a intoxicated disorderly subject. I recall them saying that he was trying to get into the house. At one point he left, back into a car, and now he has returned, was trying to try doors and get into the house.
Is that kind of information that you usually will get from dispatch as you're en route to a particular call? They update you with as much facts as they can?
Yes, as they get the information from the caller, they update us with whatever the latest information is. And part of the information that they relayed was the suspect later found out to be Mr. Riefers. Was also worked for Texas Trooper, Texas Patrol Commission.
So you're being informed en route still that this person was law enforcement or used to be law enforcement?
That's correct.
Now, when you have that kind of information on a call, does that change the way you approach a call in any way?
Well, you start running the variables in your mind. Most cops I know, both retired and active, typically have a firearm on them, with them.
So is that a concern, at least when you're en route still to this scene?
Given the behavior that was relayed to me via dispatch, and that he potentially is a law enforcement officer that could be potentially armed, yes, it was a concern.
Were you also given any information as to the type of motor vehicle this person was driving?
Yeah, it was given to me as a white Toyota Highlander.
And had you also been informed whether or not any damage had been committed or done by this motor vehicle leaving 5539 Old Farm Drive?
I was aware of the allegation that a crash had occurred, so I assumed there would be damage on the vehicle itself.
Are you familiar with this subdivision?
Yes.
And so are you aware that there's apparently 2 exits out of that subdivision?
I am, yes.
And okay, I'm sure you are. And were you informed which direction to at least anticipate the motor vehicle may be traveling?
It was relayed to us that he was exiting towards the Snyder Road.
All right. And the Snyder Road entrance, is that like the main entrance, a side entrance, back entrance into the subdivision?
Well, it's a main entrance. It's a main entrance to a north-southbound road, where the Kensington Road that they referred to earlier in earlier testimony is like a east-west on Fieldsboro Road. It goes east-west.
Okay. And do you actually physically enter the subdivision before seeing any potential motor vehicle or person?
So from where I was responding from, the Snyder Road entrance was the closest entrance for me to get into that subdivision on.
Are you able to make it all the way to 5539 Old Farm Drive?
I did not.
And why was that?
I actually came upon Mr. Riefers in his vehicle at the corner of Farmstead and Homecrest.
Is that far from Old Farm Drive?
Just down, just right around the corner.
Farm Field.
It's within a quarter mile, I guess.
And Homecrest.
Was the motor vehicle stationary, moving, or something else?
So I was coming down Homecrest, and it kind of curves, and as I come around this curve, I see a vehicle sitting at the stop sign on Farmfield at Homecrest. It's like a T intersection. As I'm coming up, the vehicle just sitting there, and as I'm getting closer, I'm realizing, well, this could be my suspect because it's a white SUV. And then as I get closer, I recognize that it is a Toyota Highlander. Then as I'm making a right turn onto Farmfield, I look as I'm passing by, and the description, the physical description I was given by dispatch matches the driver of the vehicle.
What was the driver? Are you able to see inside the motor vehicle, see what the driver was doing if you were?
As I'm passing, so I'm driving a Chevy Tahoe, so I kind of sit up higher. And as I'm passing out, I'm looking down, and it looks like he was looking at his phone. I would assume he's looking at a map, trying to get out of the subdivision, because it's not an easy, you know how subdivisions are, they're kind of difficult to get out of sometimes.
Sometimes they are. And what do you do after you see the, well, and you gestured. Is this the person, do you see the person in the courtroom today that you saw inside that Toyota?
Mr. Riefers is sitting at the defense table in a blue colored shirt.
Thank you. And Your Honor, just identifying the defendant for the record.
Noted.
All right. What do you do after you see the defendant in his white Toyota Highlander?
I go to the next driveway just past him to turn around and get in behind him.
And what were you going to do?
I was going to stop it, make an investigatory stop on him, on the vehicle.
And that was based on the nature of the dispatch?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And what happened as you were pulling up behind that motor vehicle?
Before I could get back up to him, the car was sitting at the T intersection, and he abruptly accelerated without signaling a left turn and accelerated to the on Homecrest at a high rate of speed.
And just for the record, do you know what the speed limit is through on Homecrest there in that subdivision?
It's 25 miles an hour.
And based on what you observed, was that motor vehicle
wouldn't be able to
traveling
see
in
his
excess
turn
of
signal
25
from
miles an hour?
where you were.
I would estimate it right around the 35 mile an hour.
What do you do when you see that motor vehicle take off and turn left onto Homecrest?
I immediately activated my lights.
Did that motor vehicle immediately stop?
No, he continued on for a short distance further.
Did you do anything else in order to encourage that motor vehicle to stop?
I squawked my siren, or it hit my siren.
When you is it like the whirr, what did you do?
I hit the manual button, so like went like a whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really love to see that transcript as to how she's describing how we're
Wait till
making
you
the
see the
sounds.
internet.
But and at that point, when you chirped your siren, did the motor vehicle stop right away?
Not right away, but once there were some other cars parked on the side of the road. Once he got around those cars, he pulled to the rightmost curb abruptly, and before the car came to a complete stop, it appeared that he threw it in park, and the car kind of lurched suddenly.
You observed that from where you were?
I did.
Okay.
Should be on the vehicle cam.
At this point, are you able to, because I know you said the car had to go around other cars, were you able to pull in directly behind this motor vehicle?
I was not directly behind it, but I was behind it, but at an angle. I was offset at an angle.
And was that on purpose, or is that just because of where it was that you had to park?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Because
and why
he stopped
would
so
you
quickly after I turned on my
park at
lights.
an angle? Is there a reason for
Well, the angle, there's
safety?
another car behind me that I was trying to get in front of.
Now, when you are still
in the
in your
matrix there,
Tahoe,
sorry.
are you able to see into that motor vehicle in front of you, that white Toyota Highlander?
So at this point, I'm on my radio. I'm on my car radio with dispatch. I'm starting to give out a Pennsylvania tag number, and about halfway through this tag number, I'm watching the car in front of me. I see a bunch of affirmative movements, and so now this is causing me concern.
Affirmative movements?
When you're a police officer, it's red flags. So these red flags start flopping up on me.
The floppy red flags. Got it.
I see these movements. As I'm giving out my the tag number, I stop, and immediately something wasn't right with what was going on and what I'm seeing, and I notify dispatch that start me another unit.
Start you another unit means what?
Back up. Send me back up.
Okay. Now, I know you've seen your cruiser cam.
I have, yes.
Okay, and you reviewed that. And on the cruiser cam, because it's dark out, is it fair? It looks dark inside the motor vehicle. Do you have a better view when you're actually in reality sitting there looking into that motor vehicle, or was it dark as well?
I couldn't see detailed images of Mr. Riefers, but I could see his shadow moving. I could see the shadow within the lights from my car was shining into his, and I could see the shadows moving within the car.
All right, so you call for backup, and what do you do next?
I'm getting out and walking up, and as I'm approaching his driver's side, his window is rolled up, and I guess I'm right near the rear bumper, just past it, right near the rear wheel well, and I see him punch at the windshield. And I continue. Now this is another red flag. So now this behavior is throwing a red flag at me that this is erratic.
Do you see him punch the windshield one time or more than one time?
I just saw it one time.
Okay.
How tall is he compared
at
to
this
the
point,
car?
because you said now it was more concerned, it's more erratic. Did you do anything else with respect to dispatch?
I made another call to send me another unit.
Send me
you
two
another
backups.
unit.
And I also gave out the block range of home crest that I was in.
And did you want them to step it up at that point?
Yes.
And when you say like step it up, what are you wanting them to do?
Drive with a little bit more urgency.
Okay. Now, at this point, could you hear any of the other deputies that were on duty on that shift? Had they been able to clear where they were at the time? Do you know if at that point, before you actually had contact with the defendant, was there actually backup coming?
I knew Deputy Peters was coming from afar. That's the only one I knew for sure. By the rest of my crew, at that point I was unsure of whether that, because I knew they was tied up on other calls.
So do you have interaction with the defendant inside who's still inside the motor vehicle?
Yeah, once he rolled the window down, he was staring straight ahead, and I asked him why his friends would call on him.
When he rolled that window down, did you observe anything? Go ahead.
Yes, so when he rolled the window down, I could smell immediate odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from inside the vehicle.
And was that mild smell or a strong smell or something else?
It was fairly strong.
Okay. Now, when you asked the defendant why his friends would call 911, did he respond to you?
No, he just kept staring straight ahead.
Did that concern you anymore?
Yes.
And why?
That's just erratic behavior.
And after this, then what do you ask him next?
I asked him if I could get his driver's license, insurance, and registration. And then at this point, he responded, well, I'm a retired state trooper. I don't have to provide my registration, and just started on this rant of being a retired state trooper and from Texas, and yelling at me, wanting to know what the PC for the stop was.
Probable
So his
cause.
voice was raised?
Yes.
And did he indicate that he was a retired Texas state trooper and didn't have to provide you registration more than once or just the one time?
Oh, I'm going to say that several times because this was the ongoing. It was like he was focused on that point of contention.
And when you said that he was questioning the PC for the stop, what do you mean?
I'm sorry, probable cause.
And probable cause for the stop means what exactly?
I was doing an investigatory stop for the call that we had received through 911, and then I had the traffic violation because you'll see on the video that when I'm approaching him and when I'm actually behind him, there's no turn signal flashing on his vehicle at all. And then you'll notice the speed when he takes off. So I had probable cause for the traffic violations as well.
Did you ask him any other questions after you asked him for his driver's license, registration, that sort of thing?
At this point, with all the red flags I had, a lot of times we find guns in cars. I asked him to exit the vehicle.
Did you ask him, in fact, if he had a firearm before you?
I did, in fact, ask him if he had a firearm on him, and he refused to answer that question, but kept on ranting about being a Texas retired state trooper and about not providing me the registration.
So at this point, with him refusing to let you know whether or not he even had a firearm on him or in the motor vehicle, not answering certain questions, the movements, is that why you asked him to exit the motor vehicle?
He did provide me his driver's license before I asked him to exit the vehicle. Then I asked him that question.
And to have him step out of the motor vehicle at this point, was there a particular reason why you asked for it right now?
Well, it's a lot of times for officer safety because, like I said, you can find guns inside motor vehicles, and if I could remove the subject from likely where there could be a firearm, and with all the furtive movements that I saw upon the initial stop, I felt for my safety to remove him from that vehicle.
How safe would you be feeling if you're standing at that driver's window not knowing if there was a loaded gun right there or not?
Not safe at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we do
Did
it
he
day
in
in and
fact
day out.
exit the motor vehicle when you asked him to?
He did.
And at this point, do you see anything about his person that was concerning to you when he exited the motor vehicle?
So when he stepped out, just part of my training, I always just do a quick once-over of his person. And at that point, I noticed there was a clip on his right pocket. The clip looked like a pocket knife would clip to your inside their pockets, what it looked like. At this point, with his behavior, the red flags I'm having, the red flags I'm seeing, I was wanting to remove this. I was going to detain him for my safety and his. So basically what that means is I was going to handcuff him for our safety and my safety. And I was going to remove this knife out of his pocket. That was my plan.
And when you saw that knife clip, did you ask him to turn around, or how were you going to, I
grabbed his right arm, and I was going to handcuff him, and then I was going to remove my plan was to remove the knife. But when I grabbed his right arm, he kind of pulled away from me. I shifted position and went to the other side of him, and I grabbed his other arm, and I was warning him not to resist because I would arrest him for obstructing. And you'll see on the video where we're standing there for a few seconds, and where he's yelling at me and I'm trying to give him verbal commands and warning him of the consequences, basically.
Did you tell him that you wanted to cuff him for detention?
I was going, he's detained for officer safety. I made a statement to that effect.
You told him that, okay. Did you ever tell him, was he wanting, well, before you cuffed him, did you ever tell him why you stopped him?
No. My first concern, my first priority is my safety, and to get the scene as safe as possible before we had this discussion was my plan.
So you had explained to him you wanted to cuff him and why, and that's when he started pulling his arm away?
That's correct. Well, he stood there and he was stiffening up, and at this point I realized that it's going to end up with us physically fighting, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I disengage, I pull my taser out, and I hold him at taser point. I notify my dispatch center that I've got one at taser point, and my whole plan was to stand there until I get backup units on the scene before I reapproach him to try to handcuff him.
And why wouldn't you just want to handcuff him yourself all by yourself?
Well, Mr. Riefers is a big guy, and it's not worth getting hurt for when I can be patient and wait for other units to arrive to assist with me.
So when you had him at taser point, how did you want him to be standing in relation to you?
I kept giving orders to actually get down on the ground and put his hands behind his back. But then after that wasn't working, I just told him, just turn around and face away from me with your hands up.
So when you ordered him to the ground to put his hands behind his back, did he ever do that before you pulled your taser?
No.
All right. Now, so you ordered him to stand with his back to you and his hands behind his back. Why would you want him to be standing like that?
Well, with him facing away from me, I thought this was a knife. If he did pull this knife out, I had more time to react.
Did he turn around and put his hands behind his back?
He would turn around, and then he would turn around and face me and argue some more. Then he would turn around. Several times during our interaction, I thought he was going to comply, because he would go from just talking normal, and then all of a sudden he would just wise the PC full stop and start talking loud and yelling sometimes at me again.
And when he turned around and would be yelling at you, could you smell any odor of alcohol?
Well, when I was trying to detain him for safety in close proximity, I could smell it on his breath. And apparently I must have been standing like kind of downwind from him when we were standing apart, because he's about approximately 8 to 10 feet from me at this point when I'm holding a taser point, and I could smell quick glimpses of alcohol when the breeze was kind of coming in at me.
Now I know while you were waiting for backup, he would turn around and like yell at you or have conversations with you. Did he then turn back around again and just
He would go between facing me and with his hands up, and then turn around, putting his hands behind his back, and then the entire time he's talking at me.
At any time, did he ever make any movement towards you?
So after a couple minutes of standing here waiting on this, he mutters something. I didn't understand what he said, and he comes at me. So at this point, when he approaches me, I am standing kind of at the back, towards the back of his car, and I push him back away from me, back towards his car. As my arms extend to push him back, he swats at my hand. And then he's back
That was
against his
game
car.
on.
He comes off of his car, and you'll see on the video that he comes back towards me, takes another step back toward me with a clenched fist. And at this point is when I deployed my first taser cartridge.
All right,
Taser,
and
taser,
when you
taser.
said he moved towards you, did he move towards you quickly, slowly, walking, running? How did he move towards
It was
you?
a step in an aggressive manner because we were within mere just arm's length of each other.
And does he swipe at your arm just the one time or more than one time?
He swiped it several times, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll show up in the video. Several
So when
swipes
he
of the
comes
knife.
at you with his fists, like his hands balled into a fist or fists, what do you do?
Well, to me, it's a precursor to an attack. So I deploy my first taser cartridge.
So is your taser still drawn?
Yeah, it's still drawn and it's activated.
And just so they understand too, with tasers, are there different kinds of like probes or ways to tase people?
So, yeah, there's two types of tasing somebody with a taser. There's what's called EMI, electromuscular interference, and then there's also a drive stun, which the drive stun is physically touching the end of the taser gun itself or the end of the taser cartridge itself against the body of another. And that's a pain compliance method, where the EMI, the electromuscular interference, is more of incapacitating. It makes your muscles and stuff lock up in between the probes and in between the spread of the wires.
Both of them hurt.
So the taser cartridge, when you deploy it for an EMI, it actually has like probes or prongs that go into that person or on that person.
It shoots two probes out, and I can't remember the offset angle, but one will go straight across where there's a laser on the taser, where the top probe that's where the top probe will hit. There's an angle, which I don't recall at this moment, and then the second taser will drop at that angle and it gives you a spread. The wider the spread, the more effective the EMI, the more effective the taser will be.
Now, when you deploy the taser that first time, what was the defendant's reaction?
The first taser, I'm not sure if both probes hit at the same time or got good contact. All of a sudden, he starts twisting along his car, and you can see him pulling at the wires, trying to break the connection between the taser and the probes themselves, which ultimately ends the EMI aspect of the.
Is that what you're supposed to do in order to stop feeling that?
Most people that know, yeah, and with him stating he made a claim later on that he was a trained taser instructor, so he knew exactly what he was doing.
All right, so he pulls out or breaks those wires. What do you do in response?
So he breaks the wires, he goes around to the front of his car. I kind of, from the back end of his car, I kind of flare out to the middle part of the roadway as I'm flaring out because I'm wanting to see where he's at now because I don't have a clear view of him because I'm flaring out trying to get a better angle. At this time I'm switching out my taser cartridges. We carry two cartridges, one that's in the gun ready to go and one that's a secondary cartridge that's underneath the handle. So at this point I'm taking the old cartridge off and reinstalling a new cartridge. Once I get the new cartridge installed on him, I go back at him. He is in the passenger side front of his car at this point, kind of like on the curb grass area right off the side of the road right in front of his car, and I deploy my second taser cartridge at this point.
When you deploy your second taser, at this time, do you even know if there was what's attached to that clip?
I have no idea.
You
I'm
still
assuming
haven't-
it's a knife.
All right, so you don't know what weapon he may or may not have on him.
That's correct.
You don't even know he has a weapon at this
What
point.
happens when you tase him the second time?
The second time it had a better effect. He fell to the ground on the second hit, but now while he's on the ground this time, he starts rolling. He rolls up, he's kind of like right at my feet, and I was going to, at this point, it's called handcuffing under power. Well, while the taser is going off, he's locked up. I was going to get into an advantageous position to handcuff him while the taser's still helping me. But
Go ahead. No, what happened?
But before that happens, by him rolling, the cables break again, and so now my taser is ineffective. He kicks up at me, because I'm, like I said, I'm right over top of him, right near him. He kicks up at me. He starts to get up. Now it's what I explained earlier about the drive stun. This is the actual physical of the taser touching for pain compliance. So I drive stun him. I think I hit him in the chest area, upper shoulder area maybe. I'm trying to create distance now because he's right in my face, and right in my reactionary gap, right in my face. So I drive stun him. He goes back a little bit. I retreat backwards. I reholster my taser because now I've used both my cartridges. It's, other than a drive stun weapon, it's no use to me. I pull out my ASP baton, which is an expandable baton. So it's about that long initially when I pull it out of my holder, and then when I sling it down, it expands. An expandable baton. At this point, he's back in like the front of his car, the front passenger side. I want to say he's on the grass area at this point, so he's out of the roadway. I go back up to him and I swing and I deliver a strike to his upper thigh. I don't know if I hit the side of it, the front of it. I just know I targeted his thigh level. Once that strike hits, he immediately drops to the ground. And at this point, he's on his back, and you'll see in the video that he's still kind of kicking up at me. So at this point, he's laying on the ground. You can hear on my video from my in-car camera that I'm yelling at him to roll over and put his hands behind his back. He's still not complying. He's yelling something at me. I don't know what I can't make out what he's saying at me, but he's yelling at me. Excuse me.
Something like, I can't.
I can hear the sirens call because I've already made. I think I've made 2 more calls advising them I got one that we're fighting one. That I'm fighting one. He's laying on the ground. I can hear the sirens. I strike him the one time, and I just stood over him with my ASP ready to deliver a second strike if necessary, if he tried to get back up onto his feet. Because I'm, at this point, like I was trying to hold him with the taser point till back up there, I'm holding with my ASP to keep him on the ground until my other units can arrive to assist.
And during this entire time, when you first had to, you first ordered him to the ground, and he didn't, to the time that you're there and he's back on the ground and you've got your ass up to strike him a second time if necessary, are you continually or repeatedly telling him to do certain commands?
Yeah, I'm giving him verbal commands to roll over on his stomach and put his hands behind his back.
And at any time before, even before the other backup, the other officers arrive, did he ever comply with anything that you told him to do, other than exit the motor vehicle?
Other than give me the driver's license and that, no.
Okay. Now, when backup arrived, did he then say, okay, I'll get on my stomach and put my hands behind his back?
No, not at all. So backup arrives. They're coming from my back, from behind me. My backup is coming. It's deputy. The first 2 deputies on scene is Deputy Levi McClellan and Deputy Reed Eastham. They come past me and they immediately engage him on the ground, and they are starting to give orders for him to roll over. At this time, I swing around. I'm at his feet at this point. I swing around, go to the top of his head area, and I'm over by the sidewalk. So I collapse my ass back up and put my ass back into my holder. And excuse me.
It's very important.
And this time there's other units arriving on scene now, so there's multiple units. I at this point I can't remember how many, but Deputy McClellan and Eastham manages, after a struggle for a bit, managed to get him secured and handcuffed behind his back, and doing a search incident to arrest on him. They end up finding the clip that I thought was a knife happened to be a .380 handgun that has a clip on it that clips in the pocket.
Do you know if that firearm was loaded?
I was told it was loaded, yes.
Okay, you never actually checked
I
it.
never touched the gun
that's
at that point.
And your cruiser cam was rolling during this
It was.
period, and you've had a chance to review that cruiser cam.
I did.
And other than the fact, was your body mic working?
Was your body?
No.
I mean, was your body?
Do you have any idea why what happened there?
My theory on it is a call prior earlier in the night. We were at a subject with a weapon call at a 3 or 4 story hotel, local hotel, and my car is parked at one end of the building, and the subject that allegedly had this weapon was at the other end, and I was out of range. And I think when I came back into the range of my car, my body mic failed to reconnect for some reason.
Okay, but does that ever, like, if it doesn't reconnect, does it like send off a signal or a buzzer or flashing lights say I'm not reconnecting?
I'm not buying that one.
So as far as you knew, when you went into that traffic stop with the defendant, your body mic was working properly?
Yes.
And you didn't find that out until afterwards that it was not?
Until I was reviewing the video, and I was disappointed that it wasn't working.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to play
That's
the
an
first 9
Axiom
minutes and 25
Technologies
seconds
body
of
mic
Sergeant
from the
Simpson's
brand.
cruiser cam.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Remember all the
For
things he
record,
said
is
that
the
happened?
exhibit. Sorry.
All the things he
3.
said, all the things that were said back and forth. Let's make sure the timelines line up here. Corey A, first mate. First mate. Welcome. 6 months. Congratulations. Just going to do a quick check on that one. I thought that body cam had internal recording on the camera itself, so even if it didn't connect to the car, it should store it. Here we go. There's nothing down here in the corner, so. Okay, we're coming along. Let's see, this is going to be on what? Snyder? Nope, he's coming along Homecrest. Here we go. That's him on the left. So that's Farm Field. No signal. You can't see a signal. As he's driving here, he's now watching what, rearview mirror to see that he did not signal. Okay. Guessing it's sort of. Oh, it was raining too. No signal. Okay, still brake lights. There was no signal. This is a valid stop now. Those brakes were almost immediate. That was not running.
AM off the vehicle on Homestead, Pennsylvania tag. Show me another unit.
Vehicle 80 out, vehicle on Homestead, request additional unit. 18 year 30 hours, 2336.
You saw him hit the window already?
796 Homestead.
5796
seconds in.
Homestead at 2336. Hey, 1239, go ahead with the LL.
The audio's off.
Roger.
The windshield wipers.
150-603.
Right, go with the LL. There's a social target.
271-92-6482.
Okay, we're approaching the 1 minute mark in 5 seconds now. 5 seconds. Driver's license has been handed over within the first minute.
All return status valid, no one to a 43-year-old male, Daniel Roten, out of Pleasant Plain, break for social.
Oh, we're going to meet this one.
Return status valid, no one to a Marjorie Roten, 38-year-old female, out of Pleasant Plain. Able 80 safety check.
That's a car. That's a little abrupt.
2338.
Okay, yep. Sorry, he's guilty.
Able 80 year clarity.
Taser, taser, taser. Complies. And back.
Central Warren County South Unit, Sunrise House is now restricted, equal 80 Atlas one resisting, and 574 Home Crest.
Hey, you got one figure form. I'm waiting on second unit.
He said one at gunpoint.
One at David Point, heading on a 7 unit,
taser.
2338.
I thought I heard gunpoint, but she heard taser.
Ready, 45 here. You're clear, 45, 2338.
38, it's actually 2839, 2339. Turns around again. Okay, as much as I like Pro Se Guy, you have to follow a lawful command. Looks like he's fairly guilty here. Let's see this aggressive step forward.
Get volume 6, you're clear, yard.
Two scenes behind him. Turn around. Okay. Defendant does not look agitated, I can give you that.
2 trails 49, route to 80. 2 trails 14, you're clear now, ER, and 2340.
Now he's yelling. Watch for the step. That was the aggressive step. Nope. That was. Boom.
Okay, they're deploying 2341.
Reload. Taser. He's down.
They're all holding en route to
Pulled the wires out. There's a dry stun.
2341.
And ASP. Get on the ground.
Hey, Paul 34, Paul 32, stacking. Hey, Paul 80, you're clear, fighting one.
Watch for the red and blues coming from behind us.
22
Behind the officer.
ICU room is on fire. 2 Charles 14, they're pulling up now. Okay, you're clear, 2342. I'm saying 2342.
Hands on. All I could hear was please.
2342. The alarm at the All-American Drive-Thru Riefers units available to pick up if you advise. Yeah, thank you. Holder 2, thank you.
We've got 4 units here now.
All units clear, connector 21 right there. Clear, right, show me responding. Responding, 2342. 61 attention.
Tells them to slow down.
You're clear, 1 detained, all additional units can reduce to routine.
So all the other units that are coming here can slow down, turn off their lights and sirens. He's detained. The threat's over.
Yeah, ready. $17 2343.
So looking back at the charges, resisting arrest, interference in the performance of duties, I think those are going to be a shoo-in. Still might have some ground to to cover. He might be able to defend successfully against the intoxication ones, although the officer testifying that he could smell the alcohol on his breath, not just like on his clothing, because you can spill alcohol on yourself and not be drunk.
No, you're going to wake up.
It was 100% resistant. 100%.
Warren County South units, Primary South is now unrestricted. Resume normal traffic on Primary South, then 2344.
As soon as he pulled his arm back when he reached for him, that was resisting.
Copy of basically what was happening that evening.
I'm sorry.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of what was going on that evening?
It was, yes.
Okay. And I noticed that once the other deputies got him under control, did you search him in any way or anything of that nature?
I did not search him. The other deputies took care of that responsibility.
What were you doing at that point?
I was just kind of just standing there and standing back, trying to settle down.
Sarge, I'm going to show you what's been marked States Exhibits 6 and 7.
He was not trying to settle down.
Do you recognize those two photographs?
I think he did escalate it.
I do.
Are those still photographs from your cruiser cam video?
They are. They're still shots from the video.
Okay. Just going to show you States Exhibit 6 first.
Ooh, let's see.
That was, I believe, after the first deployment of the taser.
That's what initiated the first deployment of the taser.
And he's advancing on you.
Yeah, you can see him stepping towards me, and if you look at very visibly, his right hand is a clenched fist, and he's approaching me.
And the left hand, does that appear to be clenched into
It
a
appears to
fist
be
as well?
clenched, yes.
And then right after that is when you tased him the first time.
That's the first taser deployment, yes.
All right, and then States Exhibit 7. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Kinko's didn't do a good job on this one.
Photograph's better, but can you tell what's going on there?
Yeah, that one looks like it's after the second taser cartridge deployment, when he breaks the wires, and this is at the point where I was going to handcuff him, and you can see that he's kicking at me to keep me away.
Okay. Now, was his motor vehicle going to be towed that evening?
Yes,
Why?
because he was under arrest.
And at that point, he was under arrest for what?
At the very start of it, it was the resisting, obstructing.
And?
Did you know about the weapon yet at that point?
No, not that
No
point.
alcohol?
Now,
What point are you talking about?
I guess after he was cuffed and...
After he got him handcuffed right at that moment? No.
Okay.
No, those are the only two at that point.
You found out later about the loaded weapon?
Yes.
He was going for the wires.
Was he under arrest for OVI at that moment?
Eventually, yeah. Once I could evaluate stuff, yes, OVI was added.
Okay, so immediately after him being cuffed, you're not, snapping out charges or anything of that nature?
No.
Okay. In order for a motor vehicle to be towed because the driver's under arrest, do you have to do anything to that motor vehicle before it's towed?
Once we tow a vehicle, we have to do what's called an inventory search, which means basically that we have to go through the vehicle and inventory all the items inside that vehicle.
And were you part of the search of the motor vehicle?
I was not.
Were you made aware, or did you ever have an opportunity to look inside the motor vehicle during the search?
Yeah. I'm not sure which deputy told me, but they said there was a second handgun. It was a 9mm handgun that was right on, right by his right leg, right on the center console, right in front of the seat, laying up against like the, for lack of a better term, the transmission housing, the hump that goes between the two seats. It was laying up against that.
The hump.
All right, if I may, I'm going to show you.
It was right next to the car's hump.
8, 9, and 10. Can you tell me if you recognize these photographs?
I do.
All right, and is that, well, 9 and 10 especially, does that show the second firearm that you observed inside the defendant's motor vehicle?
You said 9 and 10?
Yeah, the last
Yes,
two.
that's correct.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 8 first of all. That's a photograph for the record of what?
That's the rear of Mr. Riefers' vehicle.
All right. And then State's Exhibit 9. Photographs are definitely better. All right. Can you show us, does that show anything in State's
Now we can't
Exhibit
see
9
anything,
if you look
ma'am.
at the photo?
That's an open driver's side door into the passenger compartment. And if you look real close, if you...
Hold on, I need some clarification as to whether or not this deputy saw what we're seeing, or is he saying what the photograph shows?
No, all right, let me ask you, Sergeant Simpson, did you actually observe that second motor vehicle found in, or second firearm found in the motor vehicle yourself before it was collected?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, thank you. In this location?
Yes, I did.
Before, okay, so down on the driver's side floorboard next to the center console?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell us, can you point it out in State's Exhibit 9, because it's really hard to see it on the screen? Can you touch the
this is a
screen?
touch screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Show what we're looking at.
So if you look kind of in the floorboard right in front of the seat, I'm going to try to circle it, so I'm not an artist, so bear with me here. But you can see kind of the handle and the butt of the gun is sticking up from right there.
Okay. And if you clear that, where it says clear, on the left, or all the
Okay.
left, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 10.
Move the lights, ma'am. Thank you. It's a little better. Nope. Nope.
Can you show us
Now you
that
can see it.
photograph where the loaded firearm is?
It's a little bit easier to see. Here is the same gun once again, and you can tell that that Mr. Riefers made an effort to hide it, because you can see that it's tucked between the floor mat and the transmission housing, or the
Objection,
center
Your Honor.
housing.
The scope, mischaracterization, saying they tried to hide it. It's just simply sitting in the
I'll
floorboard.
sustain that conclusion. Deputy, let's try to stay in your lane and not necessarily tell the jury what you think the legal conclusions or the opinions of law are, and just tell them what happened.
My apologies, Your Honor.
That's all right.
He gets his first
All right.
sustained objection.
Do you observe any alcohol inside the defendant's motor vehicle yourself?
Yes, one of the deputies pointed out that there's a open bottle of Fireball.
And did you actually observe an open bottle of Fireball, or at least a bottle of Fireball inside the defendant's driver's compartment?
I did. Once it was pointed out to me, I did, yes.
Objection, Your Honor. That bottle she's showing is not an unopened bottle. It has never been opened.
Overruled.
All right, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 14. Is that the bottle of Fireball, whether it's unopened or opened, that you observed in the defendant's motor vehicle?
That is.
All right, and what seat are we looking at there?
It looks like a driver's seat.
And as you look at this bottle, can you tell if it's opened or unopened?
The way it's laying there in that picture, it's hard to tell.
But you took it into custody. You
But
inventoried it,
that
right?
is a fair and accurate copy or a photograph of the way you observed not only the Fireball, but the State's Exhibits 8, 9, and 10 as well for the gun.
That's where it was laying out when it was pointed out to me. That's the way it was laying, yes.
Looks mighty full.
And then, did you also have an opportunity to see any damage to the defendant's motor vehicle that would have maybe coincided with the original dispatch report?
Yeah, there was damage to the passenger side right rear.
Okay. Show you 15, 16, and 17. We'll show you State's Exhibits 15, 16, and 17. Tell me if you recognize those three photographs.
We're going to see if this was a car crash damage or
I do, yes.
Bush's damage.
All right, with respect to the first one, 15, that's a photograph of what?
That's a overview of the passenger side. I would call it an overview of the passenger side of the vehicle.
And On one, okay, so the side, sorry, so the side, the passenger side of, not like front or back, right?
That's correct, just a overview of the passenger side.
I think I'm just having issues there. 16 then is a picture of what?
You can see damage to the passenger side rear quarter panel.
You talking about this area here?
That's correct.
And then is this another 17? Is that another angle of that same damage?
It is.
And do those
That's
photographs
bushes.
really and accurately
That's
depict the motor
bushes.
vehicle as you saw it that night of November 9th?
They do, yes.
All right. At some point then, how long do you stay at that scene before you clear it? Approximately.
40-ish minutes.
Okay. So you leave, what, a little after midnight, 12:30?
I know it's after midnight. I should know exactly when.
And what did you have to go do after you cleared that scene?
I had respond back to my office, and we had reports, charges to type up, evidence to take care of, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And did you assist with like any of the evidence back at the Deerfield post?
No, I believe Deputy Peters handled all that himself.
Thank you. Your Honor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Here we
Mr.
go.
Riefers, you have questions for the sergeant?
Yes, he does.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Buckle up.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. So let me get two out of line here. All right, you said there was an inventory done on the vehicle?
Inventory search?
Yes.
Yes.
Was there an inventory log actually done?
There's an inventory sheet, should have been, yes, a tow card, that we call it.
And is that part of your normal report? Because I was never provided a copy of the inventory.
I didn't do the tow card.
Deputy Peters did the inventory?
Whichever deputy did it should have done a tow card.
Okay. And then what I wanted to point out too was you stated, let's see. All right, so first off, when you come up, you said, can you start it at the very beginning?
Oh, you wanted that back. Okay, sorry, I just
No,
mixed
you're
up.
fine. Just kind of walk through it when you're stopping me.
Okay.
First thing you're saying is you're seeing me make furtive movements in the vehicle is why you called initially for other units?
Yes, so I'm calling out your plate.
Correct.
So okay.
You're seeing the furtive movements in that?
Yes, I can see inside. I can see the shadow of your silhouette within the car moving around.
Okay, so you're talking about when he first stops you.
Correct.
Okay.
Let me look at a minute. Right in there.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
So right in there as you're stopping me, you're saying there's a bunch of furtive movement, correct?
I can see the silhouette of your shadow moving around in that car, yes.
So if I were moving, when you see the car kind of shake side to side?
Depends on...
Well, you can see clearly inside the back of the vehicle. And I don't
Objection,
see
Your
movement.
Ask a question, Mr. Riefers.
When you approached the vehicle at a minute 20, you said, then I rolled the windshield, or rolled the window down then? That's what you put in your report?
As I'm walking up, yeah.
Okay. But as you walk up, you notice the window's already down. You see it actually reflect off your flashlight when you walk up?
That's reflecting off of your mirror.
And you see the windows cracked this much as you walk up. If you want to roll ahead to about a minute 20, we'll go a little further than this.
Vehicle 80 repair. 80 repair out of the vehicle on Homestead. Request additional unit. 18 repair yard 2336.
Right there, you can pause it. You can see where your flashlight hit. You saw the window was already down. So I already had it rolled down before you approached, correct?
I can't see the window down. To me, the window is up when I walk up to you. The window is up when I walk up to you.
Okay, well that's what I'm pointing out. If we back up frame by frame, right as he walks up, you'll see it right here. Just back it up 10 seconds and play it real slow.
Well, do you have one on yours? Because I am not the technical person. Okay. I don't know. This? I don't know how to do it really slow. I'm sorry.
Just the play button's fine.
All right.
80 repair.
Huh?
This is what I'm talking about as it's explain, notice right here where your light hits right here, my window's already down.
I am not seeing that.
Center, question additional unit.
Okay. Oh.
18 year 30 hours, 2336.
You can pause it, thank you. Okay. And so when you walk up, what do you first say?
Well, once you really went down, I asked you why your friends called.
But it's already down, your first thing
I
you
disagree with
stated,
that, but that's
why did my friends call?
Because you can see how my hands are. I was going to tap on the window to get you to roll it down.
It's already down, you see it. It's clear as day in the video, it's
Okay.
already down.
I disagree.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Riefers, just ask questions, please.
Yes, Your Honor. So when you got up to the vehicle, you said as you're standing up there, you put in your report that I punched the windshield?
As I'm walking up there, you punched at the windshield. I don't know if you hit the windshield, but you punched at it. Your hand went forward like that.
Okay, but yet no movement in the car. The car doesn't shake, nothing like that from a punch.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. You said a punch windshield, it didn't happen. That's what I was pointing out. If it had happened, you'd see the vehicle move. You're standing right there. That's why the department now has body cameras so that this stuff doesn't happen.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Riefers, just questions.
Yes, Your Honor. All right. Okay, and then when you're up at the vehicle, first thing I always do is I have my hands on the window or on the steering wheel, and I sit just like this. So you're saying that I was making furtive movement, and then I just stared straight ahead?
That's correct.
So I was doing both?
When I'm behind you here, before I start walking up, that's when I see the movements.
Okay.
Now as I'm walking up, you punch at the windshield and you're staring straight ahead.
Okay, so then I punched the windshield and then just stared straight ahead. And then you asked me for license and insurance, correct?
No, I told you that. I asked you why your friends called.
Okay, that was the first thing. Then you go into asking for the license, insurance, registration, correct?
I do at some point, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember me telling you I'm a retired state trooper? I have my secondary weapon with me, and I hand you my license and insurance.
You did not tell me about your secondary weapon, because if you told me about a secondary weapon, I'd have handled that a lot differently.
Okay, but I did tell you I was a retired state trooper. Right?
You did say the state trooper part, yes. Okay. I did testify to that.
So then the vehicle, since it's a work vehicle, do you remember you mentioned it's a work vehicle? The registration would be on the work phone?
No, you told me you did not have to provide, you're a retired state trooper, you do not have to provide registration.
Never said that.
Objection, Your Honor.
That's
The objection is sustained. The jury will disregard the commentary. Mr. Riefers, that's enough.
All right. So when you come up, you hadn't told me yet any reason for the stop. You just asked why my friends called.
That's the first thing I told you, yes.
Okay.
Ohio doesn't have to say
Tell me
why.
any more detail before you asked me to get out of the car of why I was stopped.
But you kept yelling about being a retired state trooper and asked me PC for a stop, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
So no, it's a no. You didn't say the reason for the stop.
No, I didn't have an opportunity to tell you.
Okay. And then you've been trained in OVI and DUI investigations, correct?
I have.
All right, but the intoxilizer certification had lapsed, correct?
Yes, it expired many years ago.
Okay. And then did you get disciplined for that?
I did.
Okay. Have you had any other disciplines?
Several.
Okay. What are the other disciplines you've had?
Objection, Your Honor. Can we
Overruled.
approach, please?
It's allowed.
Go ahead.
I had for missing off-duty details. I got one for conduct unbecoming because of a comment I made about an incident that happened with a cadet program. I ran a cadet program. I made a comment about that. I've got one for trying to think back over the years. I got one for missed vehicle maintenance. I've got one for arresting somebody on an unclassified misdemeanor. I got one for failing to place evidence, something into evidence.
What?
A firearm into evidence.
Okay, thank you. And do you have a maintenance log when you have issues with taking a maintenance for your vehicle?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Do you have a log for maintenance, any kind of maintenance issues with your vehicle? Is there a log, anything that happens?
I don't keep one, no.
The sheriff's office doesn't?
The county, we take our cars to the county garage I assume they do. I don't know how their operation works.
Okay, but did you note or mention to anybody higher ups that your body mic wasn't working that night?
I didn't know it wasn't working that night.
Once you realized it was?
After the fact, yes.
Okay, and how did it correct itself?
We looked at it and we had to basically resync the system.
Okay. And then do you remember while you're standing up there with me, I had mentioned about the body mic being on you? I could still see like the red light was on, so I knew you had the body mic on.
Where was you pointing to?
Your body mic?
Our body mic was up here.
You had body mic up here?
Yeah.
I was pointing at body mic. You were standing outside the car?
You pointed at something, like I said, you muttered something, I couldn't understand you.
Okay. And then you stated that the weapon that she just showed us, that you had found that in the front floorboard, correct?
No, I did not find it. Somebody pointed out to me and they pointed out to me and I saw it. I went and looked.
Okay. It says it was Deputy Peters that found the handgun. Was Deputy Peters the one that took photographs, do you know?
I'm not sure who. There's several deputies there. I don't know how the workload got divided up, I guess.
Okay. And then you put in there near the floorboard, near the console, and an open bottle of Fireball. The Fireball that was sitting on the driver's seat that was still sealed, that hadn't been opened yet. There was one in the cooler in the back that had been opened that you'd seen. But the one sitting in the driver's seat, did you see it there or who placed it there?
I didn't touch it. I saw it there. So it was there when somebody pointed it out to me and I looked at it.
Okay. So then that would have to be the time on Deputy Carter's at 3742 when somebody's taking pictures and she's digging around and then says that, well, I'll put that back so I don't screw your pictures up. That could be where she moved the Fireball?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overrule. Answer if you can.
I don't know I don't know anything about that, Deputy Carter.
Okay. All right, so then you asked me to get out of the car. If we could just roll ahead, is it easier?
Easier for you to do it, actually, but I can try. Not on my computer, but.
5796 Homestead at 2336.
And it's sorry on the timing, because the timing is off different than this one, because the original clip was only like 9 minutes.
I can't, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
We can pause that. I said, sorry on the timing when I'm calling out my times, because the same timing here, this is the full video. The original clip I got, when I did my first open records request in November, was only like 9 minutes and something. So that's the time I was going off of when I'm referencing. At the minute 20 is when you approach the vehicle. At the 2:42 is when I stepped out and shut the door. And then as soon as I step out, if we can run to where I get out of the vehicle.
Robert, 450-603.
Are you wanting me to fist pass forward to that?
Yeah, if you would. Because on the 9-minute clip, it was at 2:42. I don't know what it's at on this one.
Shoot.
One resisting and return status felon, no one, no Marjorie, 38-year-old female, out of Pleasant Plains. Angle 80 safety check.
Okay.
You can pause it there. Alright, so we're sitting at 3:02, and then if you go from that moment, we go 6 seconds ahead.
338.
And pause it there. 6 seconds.
No, that's only 2 seconds.
308. There. So in that 6 seconds, you're telling me that right there is when you placed me under arrest.
No, that's not exactly when I placed you under arrest. That right there was when I was going to detain you for my safety because I seen that clip.
Okay, Your Honor, he testified to yesterday that was the time he placed.
We're not talking about any testimony that happened in any prior hearings. Mr. Riefers asked questions about what happened.
Did you not tell me yesterday that was the time you placed me under arrest?
I'll allow that question.
So, my mom talked about yesterday.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Yesterday when we was talking about that, I was talking about this whole scenario right here before I pulled my taser out. I was referring to that whole scenario. I wasn't referring to, I was confused about what specifically you was asking for, I guess. I was talking about this whole scenario here.
Okay, I can understand where you're going with that, but let's be very clear with this. I was very clear and even called out in 6 seconds. That's when you said I was under arrest, and I said specifically what for. You responded with obstruction. Is that correct?
Not at that moment, no.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Not at that moment. I didn't make my mind up to arrest you until you pulled away this. Once I went from your right arm to your left arm, that's when I decided to make an arrest for obstruction. Because right now, I'm just trying to detain you for a Terry stop, to take that weapon off of you.
Did you tell me you were trying to detain me?
I tried to, but you're argumentative.
Okay, it's just a yes or no. Did you state you're under arrest or you're being detained?
I did say detained.
Again, we'll go back to your report then. You never mentioned it in your report that I'm under arrest. All you stated was you attempted to detain. You never articulated out loud. Isn't that correct? You never articulated right there, I'm detaining you to check you for weapons.
I'm detaining you because you have a weapon, is what the conversation was.
Correct, but you didn't state it. Is that correct?
No, I testified that earlier.
And then, let's see. All right.
This is fascinating. We're going to have to get into the legal elements of the
And then
laws to see.
Just a few seconds later,
the state's proven this case.
I had it at 2:52 on my old video. If we can just roll for just a few minutes, man. It's right there. It's right there. You're saying you got one resisting. Is that where you're placing me under arrest?
No, you're resisting because I'm trying to detain you for safety, for officer safety.
So when you say you've got one resisting, what are you implying?
You're resisting me trying to detain you.
Did you articulate I was being detained? You had already said
did.
No. You just said you didn't. So I want to know, is at that moment right there when you say you've got one resisting, am I under arrest? Or am I free to go at that moment?
You're not free to go. You wasn't free to go from the time I stopped the car.
Okay. Right there when you grabbed me, that's when you placed me under arrest.
That's not true. I was
what you stated.
grabbing you.
We'll go back to the record.
All right, gentlemen, this is not round two, okay? You ask questions, you provide answers, you let him finish his answers, you let him finish his questions. No more of this nonsense. Are we clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ask another question, Mr. Riefers.
All right. All right. So at that moment, then, when you said one resisting, you did not articulate obstruction. You just said resisting. Is that correct?
Yes, when I'm talking, notifying dispatch.
And the supposed turn signal violation, you never issued a citation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And this is where, am I allowed to use the exhibits I submitted back on June 25th?
I mean, you can show exhibits to the witness.
Okay. Just want to be clear which one to show here to start off with. Show these first three versus the side by side.
I have seen these.
Those are the ones that they were emailed and delivered on June 25th. That's exhibit
And if
A.
this wasn't part of your exhibit list.
She's going to object if it's not part of the exhibit list.
Are you marking those as something?
Yeah, I'm just showing, because of the still frames of his video. That's what I'm just showing here.
Are these A?
We need to have numbers on these, Mr. Riefers.
Each one.
Or letters?
They were
Or
submitted.
they should be letters.
How do you want to label them? They were submitted June 25th, as exhibit A.
We're going to put new exhibit labels on them, so let's go with letters. So call them A, B, C, D, E, and F, or whatever. Start with A. Just handwrite it on there.
Oh, I've been messing up on the counter. I'm sorry.
I mean, I had it as a packet as exhibit A, and then I've got the next packet as exhibit B that I submitted.
We add a couple to this.
Just to keep them that way.
No. Well, I mean, you can label them if you want A1, A2, A3, and A. I mean, each one of them have to have an individual number. or designation.
A1, A2, and A3. What these are is just individual still shots from your camera. And this is showing.
I'm sorry, is that A1?
This is A1, yes. It's on that June 25th packet, Exhibit A. Okay, so this is showing as you're coming up to the vehicle. And you see right over there, that's the car. This is as you're approaching.
Could I actually see the picture?
Sir.
Thank you. You talking about right here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's the car.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was just pointing out. I've got
Yeah.
a couple of milwalks.
Okay.
So you know where we're at. This is at the very beginning. Right before you made your right turn.
I can see a mixed verdict on this.
So what we got here, you can see slightly off right over here is my vehicle. This one is issued as A1. It shows that the turn signal's off. Then you see this next one right there, turn signal flashed. That was A2. And then here I just did a side-by-side so you can see off your still frame. Off, on. That way you can see that I pulled up to the stop sign, just tapped it to go, but didn't complete the turn because you were coming down the road.
Need to ask a question, Mr. Riefers.
Yes, Sean. Is it possible that you didn't see the turn signal as you were approaching flash?
No, it looks like, appears to be a tail light to me. Or, I'm sorry, brake light.
Okay.
Brake light and tail light, like you putting your foot on the brake and it going, and then it goes back to the tail light.
But it also could have been possibly the turn signal.
Turn signal was orange.
That was the same on that car.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Riefers,
Same on the car.
Mr. Riefers, you're not allowed to provide evidence. You can only ask questions.
Until you take the stand.
Is it possible that it could have been the turn signal?
Could have been.
Okay. And this would be Exhibit C. It's just C all by itself. Keep it in order with the packet. This is the one that I highlighted when we turned the lights on.
Okay, this is going to be marked what?
This is on that June 25th packet.
No. I need.
Exhibit C.
Okay, so you don't have a B?
No, B's in the packet. I need to pull those up here.
It's just the one photograph for C?
Yes.
It's like the biggest hardship in her life.
Yeah.
There's no B. Oh, ma'am, there's a B. There's
Is that
a B.
an accurate representation of your vehicle behind me?
I'm trying to figure out where I'm at right here.
You're just making the turn, making that left turn behind me.
So that's, okay. Yes.
Okay. What I'm showing here on this Exhibit C, it's kind of hard to see in this, but you can see his lights are activated. He's just made the turn through that intersection. And you see my vehicle about 50 foot from the curb over there. So he's already activated the lights before he's over gone to stop me. So it wasn't for the speeding violation.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Riefers, you need to stop this. Ask questions. Don't
Yes, sir.
make statements.
Was it your intention to stop me for the speed violation?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was that your intention to stop me for the speed violation?
No, my original intention is to do an investigatory stop because of what happened at the old farm address.
Okay, so that we're all just clear on it. That's the whole reason for the stop, is for the investigatory stop, correct?
Well, yeah, the whole
Okay.
thing.
So then, when it comes down to that, does your policy, department policy and law, state that you have to articulate the reason for the stop? You can't just pull somebody over and walk up and grab them and get them out of their car for no reason. Is that
That's where
correct?
a Terry stop comes in.
Right, you have to have a reasonable articulable
And
suspicion.
you have a duty to tell that person, this is what I'm stopping you for, this is what I'm doing. Had you just stopped in that moment and been like, hey, just gonna pat you down, make sure you don't have any weapons, partner. No big deal. Or you told you
Objection,
part of
Your
law
Honor.
enforcement. I'll try to
Get to the
it.
question part.
Yes, sir. So what I'm getting at is, could it have been, let me just ask, why didn't you just tell me you're detaining me?
I tried.
You said you didn't even put in the report. We know report writing 101 is if it's not in the report, it didn't happen. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. The report is to help refresh one's memory.
Okay. Did you tell me out loud that you were detaining me? Yes or no?
Yes.
You did.
At one point I was saying yes.
That I'm detained before you grabbed me.
When I was trying to grab that, get your hand to control, get away from that knife, yes, or the clip. That was my whole intention right there, was to detain you. Okay. That's why I grabbed you.
Right. But did you state that, hey, you're being detained or you're under arrest? Did you do any of that before you grabbed me?
I was trying to tell you you're detained, but you're arguing with me. And you may not have heard me because of your...
Yes or no, did you say it or not before you grabbed me?
I was saying it maybe as I'm grabbing you, but I'm saying it.
All right. So your first level of force was to go hands-on by grabbing my arm, correct?
By grabbing your arm?
Yes.
Yeah, to detain you, yes.
Okay. And so the stop was based on a vague 911 call plus the unsighted traffic claims, which we've cleared up. So it was for the 911 call, correct? For the investigatory...
Objection, Your Honor. Is this answered?
Go ahead and ask your question again, Mr. Riefers.
So the main stop was for the 911 call.
That was the initial reason, yes.
All right. And then seconds later, after you escalated, and then you deployed the taser. So when you pulled your taser out, you told me to turn around. So I turned around. Correct? And then we sat there. When you pulled your taser...
You said a time. I didn't catch that time. I'm sorry, I have a hearing issue.
Okay, you're fine. No, I said when I turned around...
You have a hearing issue?
And you pulled your taser, you told me to turn around. And I did that, correct?
Hang on. You have a hearing
Yes.
issue?
Okay. So when you were talking about, you were telling me to get on the ground, you were referring to after you hit me with the ass is when you're standing over me. That's when you're telling me to get on the ground, correct?
No, when I had that taser point, I'm wanting you to get on the ground at that point as well.
Okay, you just didn't say that then?
I did.
Okay. All right. And you didn't attempt to de-escalate the situation first, did you?
I didn't have an opportunity to de-escalate the situation.
Okay. And so when we're standing on the side of the road there, and I'm talking with you, and I mumbled something you said, you put in your report that I mentioned something about your car. In that moment, did I say to you, let's go to your vehicle so we can get this on camera?
Like you muttered something, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay, but it possibly could have been that.
Well, you muttered something, I don't know what it could have been.
Right. But you acknowledged in the report, muttered something about your vehicle. Meaning,
something about my vehicle, yeah.
Right, like, let's go to your car, do this Friday, and solve this, right? All right. So then, okay, and at that point when you had the taser out, you didn't attempt to de-escalate first. Is that correct?
That's not correct, because when I held holding you at taser point, I held you for several minutes waiting for it, and I even made it at gave radio traffic to tell them I've got one at taser point, I'm waiting for a second unit. That was an attempt to de-escalate right there, given that time frame before it went.
Waiting to tase is de-escalation?
After that.
And when I first started walking towards your patrol car, did you knew I was walking towards your patrol car?
I felt you was walking towards me.
And then, let's see, and then had I threatened you at any point?
Like threatening to cause me harm? No.
Okay. So the only action you saw was me just pulling my hand back within 6 seconds of you attempting to grab me. Is that correct?
Pulling the first time, yes, and then I went to the other arm and you stiffened up and we were locked there for several seconds. I'm giving you, telling you I'm arresting you for obstructing.
Okay. And then as we see on your video later, it was on McClellan's video once we finally got that. And because we did McClellan's deposition. Do you remember in his deposition?
Objection, Your Honor.
Just finish your question, Mr. Riefers.
Thank you. Do you remember Deputy McClellan stating that when he had come up that I didn't have red shot, glossy eyes, and I was compliant when he was there?
Go ahead and answer.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking. I want to say I do recall that, yes.
Thank you. And then, could it have been possible that as you were, you tased me the first time when we were walking towards your car? That's the first tase. The second one, I got in front of my car and sat there and said, "You stay over there, I'll stay here, just stay away from me, stop hurting me." That's when you advanced on me and hit me with the second rope, correct?
I didn't hear you say anything to me.
Okay.
I'm giving you orders to get on the ground.
Because you have a hearing issue.
And then after you hit me with the second probe, do you know where the second probes were deployed at?
You mean where the probes actually struck?
Yes.
I'm not aware where they exactly struck now.
Okay. The diagram shows a set here. The second set, which I know you were talking earlier about the taser, the angle of trajectory that they come out is 8 inches every foot. The second set was here and here on the front forearm and the bicep, 4 inches away. That's where you were on top of me on that second set. You hit me right there. Do you recall that?
I don't know where they hit you at.
Okay. And then as we got off the ground, was it not possible that because of the 2 tasings and the dry stun, that maybe I was just rolling in pain, going, "Leave me alone"? Wasn't kicking at you or trying to actively resist against you?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Go ahead and answer if you can.
With what you said about being a taser instructor, thinking about that,
yeah,
you know how to defeat an.
But in that moment, that's what I'm asking. In that moment, could not have been the way that it happened.
In that moment, you were kicking at me. I still take you as a threat.
That it?
Is that it?
All right.
Wow.
And then, was I still a threat when I was standing in front of my car and my hands were up, facing away from you? After the second taser?
Yes, you're a threat, non-compliant, because I don't know what you're going to do, and you've got a weapon in your pocket. That turned out to be a gun.
But you didn't know that at the time, and you hadn't said anything. I'm asking, was I just a threat, standing in front of my car with my hands up, saying, "I'll stay here, you stay there"?
I didn't know what you're saying. You're just in front of your car. I don't even recall your hands being up right there.
But then when my hands are up, does your department teach to do ass strikes when people are facing away from you and your hands up?
At this point, you are a non-compliant suspect that poses a threat, and I am trying to get you into custody. I'm using force to effect an arrest.
Don't you think that force is a little excessive for what was needed for somebody that's saying, "I'll stay here, I'll wait here, just don't beat me anymore"?
If that was the case, you wouldn't have continue kicking at me.
And on your, let's see, and where in your report were those verbal commands documented?
I guess I didn't document them then.
And on your own in-car mic, there are no clear commands before you radioed resisting, are there?
But not that it picked up.
And then once in custody, you know Ohio implied consent law gives the right to a chemical test, correct?
Yeah, if I'm going to put you under an administrative license suspension, you're right.
And by your policy, the sheriff's office, you're required to collect all exculpatory evidence, correct?
I had all the evidence I needed for my charges.
It's not what you need. Exculpatory is for defendant.
Just a yes or no. Are you required by your policy to collect all exculpatory evidence?
Yes.
Okay. Did you collect all exculpatory evidence that night?
Yes, for what I needed.
Did you collect the chemical sample?
No.
Okay. Did you do a breath test?
No.
Did you offer a urine test?
No.
Did you offer to have any other deputy come back when I was saying, "Hey, I want this test to prove it"? That's all you got to do. Did you have any other deputy come back and offer me the test?
No.
Okay. Did Deputy Simpson call you from the jail or from his cell phone?
I am Deputy Simpson.
I'm sorry, Deputy Roberts. Did he call from his cell phone or did he call from the jail phone when he called you to come back that night for that chemical test?
I don't recall anybody ever calling me and asking me that.
Okay. And I think we're still waiting on the is it Deerfield Township? Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Is it Deerfield Township?
Where I work down at, where I'm assigned to?
It's
Yes.
with the county, but your phone is not, because I did the subpoena for your phone, but then they come back and said, well, it's a work phone, but it's not county, it's township phone.
Let's just ask questions, Mr. Reefers.
So we're still gotta wait for that.
Not a question, Mr. Reefers.
It's not going to
Yes,
come
Your
in.
Honor.
You needed a continuance if you're
Okay,
waiting
and
for
you
that.
admitted the intoxilizer certification had lapsed, correct?
That's correct.
Policy requires
Uh-oh,
arranging
he's feeling
another
sick.
operator if you cannot perform the test, correct?
I had no plans of giving a test. I don't need to give a test for an A1A section of the OBI, or 451119 A1A.
Does policy require arranging another operator if you can't perform the test?
But I wasn't offering a test, so there was no test to perform.
Listen
You
to my
never
question.
gave me a chance to prove intoxication or not.
I did not give you a chance for a chemical test or a breath test.
Okay. And then, next question. I specifically requested a chemical test at the jail, correct?
I have no idea. I wasn't at the jail.
Okay. And CO Roberts called you about that request?
I have no recollection of a phone call from CO Roberts.
He's answering that
And you told him you
carefully.
weren't coming back, is that correct?
No
I
recollection.
have no recollection of a phone call.
And your words in a
Not saying
sentence,
no, it didn't
based
happen.
on what he had relayed to me that night was, I don't need to, I'm not coming back, is that correct?
I don't recall a phone call.
That was a conscious refusal to provide a test, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection. Let's move on from this, Mr. Reefers.
Yes, Your Honor. You knew such a test could clear or condemn me, correct?
If I offered one, I didn't need to offer one because of your behavior, the way this whole incident went
Sergeant,
down.
listen to the question. The chemical test could either, what was it, condemn or
Could either clear or condemn me.
clear or condemn?
Yes,
Okay. Yet you refused it anyway.
I did not offer one, correct.
You didn't document my request for a chemical test in your report, did you?
I wasn't aware of a request for a chemical test from you.
You didn't document that you refused to return.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll overrule the objection, but we need to wrap this up, this area, Mr. Reefers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think he's going to win?
All right. So the jury has no written record from you of the test denial, the refusal.
This is for
or-
closings.
Yeah, that's really it. Just the test denial or the refusal, correct? You didn't do like any kind of form that says he refused or he offered a test or.
I didn't understand the first part of the question. Your head was down. I couldn't
Oh,
hear
I'm sorry.
you.
I said, so the jury has no written record of you, of the test denial or the refusal, meaning you didn't fill out any form that says he refused or that he requested one, you just didn't do anything, just think he's drunk, take him to jail, no test, correct?
I did not offer a test. That's correct.
All right, and then within 10 seconds of me exiting my car, you had me pegged as resisting, correct?
I don't know what the timeline was, but as soon as I grabbed at your arm to secure you because there was a knife on your, or what I thought was a knife, I don't know what the timeline was that was, but it was fairly soon after you exited your vehicle.
Yes, thank you. All right, and then the question, you arrested me for obstruction without telling me what I had obstructed.
You prolonged my investigation.
So you didn't tell me what I was obstructing, is that correct?
My investigation.
You didn't tell me at that moment?
Not at that moment, no.
Okay. All right.
So no articulable.
How many OVIs have you arrested where you've not offered a test?
It all depends if I offer, do an administrative license suspension. It's all situational, I guess. I don't know a number. Over my career, I've done a lot of OVIs.
Have you ever had anybody that you've refused that has actually requested one to be done?
I've never had anybody request one to be done.
Never had any, do you offer chemical tests to people you arrest for OVI?
If I do ALS suspensions, yes.
But if you don't do an ALS suspension?
Nope. I'm not required to. By 451119 A1A, I'm not required to.
So you could just take him and go, I think you're drunk, go to jail with no testing?
I'd have a little bit more reasonable articulable suspicion than that, but yes.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Wow. He had a hearing problem. That might cost him his job.
Sergeant Simpson, first of all, why did you let your intoxilizer certification lapse?
Well, I remember it was in December of one year. For the intoxilizer to renew it, you have to do one either subject test or one, I'm trying to think of the word now, it's been a while, like a scenario test. You can do a mock test on it just to show that you're proficient at the machine.
And
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
And this was in December. I was on this year. I was on vacation at the end of the year, and when I saw my email that it was going to expire, I wasn't going to be back to work before the end of the year.
All right, and so did you not attempt to recertify yourself after that?
I did not, because I already had a data master certification, so that's what I use primarily anyways.
Okay, so that's a different type of what, like a chemical test?
It's a different type of breathalyzer machine.
Okay, so you are certified to administer a certain type of breathalyzer?
I was, but last year the state of Ohio discontinued maybe the year before, but recently the state of Ohio discontinued the data master.
Okay, so you didn't get certified on intoxilizer then after that?
I have no certifications at all at this point.
Is that an issue as a supervisor not being certified on the intoxilizer?
No.
And why?
It's just if I need one that bad, I can find a certified person.
Okay, one of the deputies or something?
A deputy, a corrections officer, nearby city of Mason, they have certified officers as well.
Okay. You also were asked about other disciplinary things other things that you were disciplined for. Mm-hmm. Any of those that go to your propensity for being truthful or untruthful?
Well, a majority of them,
No. Listen to my question. Were you ever disciplined for lying?
No.
Okay.
Wait, that's the wrong answer.
Why didn't you cite the defendant for not using his turn signal?
In the overall scope of things, the other charges are more serious, and why is a minor misdemeanor going to make a difference?
And you were asked about the photographs the defendant showed you where it was possible that in those photographs that turn signal may have been on or off. Can you tell this jury, did you actually see that turn signal working when he turned left onto Homestead?
No, and if you review the video, you won't see it blinking either.
Okay. And you were accused of escalating the situation by using a taser. Why did you use the taser?
Because I felt threatened as the manner that he approached me in, and then he once I pushed him back to create distance again, he came at me with a closed fist, and once I saw those closed fists, I already had my taser out, and I deployed it for my safety.
And that was in reaction to what this defendant was doing that night?
That's correct.
He asked you whether or not he had not threatened you with bodily harm. Was that verbally, or was that physically, or both?
Well, body language, it was a threat. Verbally, he made no verbal statement.
And when he comes at you with fists balled up, is that a threat?
Absolutely.
When he's kicking at you, is that a threat?
Yes.
When he's swiping your hands away like that, is that a threat?
Yes.
So I had a redirect. You have to ask open-ended questions, please.
Okay.
Judge makes the objection.
No testing. You didn't offer this test to him. You explained that you don't have to. Was the fact that he was not complying with any of your orders that whole evening any reason at all towards your decision as to whether to test him or not?
With his combative behavior, it wasn't safe to uncuff him and run him through the battery of field sobriety test, and then So yeah, with his combative behavior, no, it was not safe.
And you were asked by the defendant that you did not put anywhere in your report anything about him, but you ordering him to do anything, like order to comply to an order. Would it help to refresh your recollection by looking at your report?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked State's Exhibit 28. I'm going to go to the page that is your narrative, I believe. Can you look, and I'm going to specifically draw your attention about halfway down into your narrative. Can you review those 2 paragraphs and tell me, anywhere in that report, do you talk about ordering this defendant to do something and he was not complying?
No. Sergeant, review that to yourself and then tell us if that refreshes your recollection as to whether or not you told the defendant anything along that regard. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did.
Review it first.
Is this from his report? I'm sorry.
It's his report.
His report.
His narrative. About halfway down.
So I'm doing slow motion on the video, watching for turn signal, frame by frame. Judge stepping in, making objections where they're needed.
I was ordering him to the ground.
Don't read from it. Does that refresh your recollection about ordering him to do things, and were you giving him orders? Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
And in your report, do you in fact put in there that you were ordering him to do things?
The report is not evidence. If we have questions for the sergeant about what he remembers or what happened, do not ask him what is in the report.
Well, he was asked that on cross. That was the only reason why I'm trying to.
He was asked to refresh his recollection about what happened, not about what's contained in the report. Mr. Riefers' questions were separate. They were questioning his credibility based upon what he put in the report. That's a completely different line of questioning.
Okay, I can't redirect on whether or not he did in fact put these things in his report?
You can ask him about what happened.
Okay.
I think the judge might be willing to do a judgment of acquittal on this one.
Did you order him to the ground?
I did.
Did you order him to roll over and put his hands behind his back?
I did.
And at any time, did he ever comply with any of the orders that you were telling him to do?
He did not.
And did you document those 2 things in your report? If you remember.
I want to say yes.
Did you need to refresh your recollection again?
I'm confused right now. I'm not feeling well. So,
that's okay. What we're interested in, Sergeant, is your testimony about what you put in your report. The report itself is not an exhibit for this jury. So if you need to look at it again to remind you whether or not you documented it in your report, Ms. Hyatt will, I assume, accommodate you in that regard.
It's Exhibit 28.
I'm confused about which section that we're talking about here.
Yeah, just look at your narrative. I was trying to direct you down so you're not having to read the whole thing. About halfway down into the report. There's a couple of paragraphs there.
Your Honor, I'm not feeling good. Got a headache. Did you put those in your report?
Does that refresh your recollection?
It does.
And what you just testified about ordering him to the ground, ordering him to roll over on his stomach, put his hands behind your back, was that documented in your report?
Yeah, when I held him at taser point, I ordered him to the ground.
All right, and about rolling over onto his back and putting his hands behind his back, that was documented in there as well?
I believe so, yeah.
I'll take that.
Anything else, Mr. Riefers, for the sergeant?
My head. It's
Can I
too
reserve
much.
the option to recall him later?
You can recall him in your case in chief if you would like.
Yep.
Okay, no further questions for today, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sergeant. You can step down.
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for the evening now. And remember all of the admonitions that I have previously given you. Do not start thinking about how this case should be decided. Don't begin discussing it amongst yourselves. When you go home tonight, probably going to run into a family member or a loved one, and they're going to ask you about your jury service. Do not talk to them about your jury service. You can say, I was selected for jury service, and when the case is over, I will tell you everything there is to know. But at this point, I will tell you nothing. Because any question that you answer after were you selected for jury service is going to get you in trouble. Precinct, what kind of case was it? Or, oh, tell me what it was about. And then you're going to be talking about the case with your family member. We spent a decent amount of time picking you this morning because we wanted you, not your loved ones. Don't drive by the spot where this happened. If it's on your regular way home, just avoid it. We are going to start back up again at 9 o'clock tomorrow, so be in the jury room ready to go. You may have noticed the HVAC in the room tends to vary wildly, so dress in layers, as I tell my granddaughters. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
He's a Gramps.
We collected cell phones, right? And they have your cell phone? Okay, make sure you write down Ms. Carilco's cell phone number so you have it. If there's something that comes up tomorrow, you can call or text her.
Yeah. Oh, is that the one to two? Okay.
This is a crazy. This is a crazy case. This is a crazy.
You could be
case.
seated.
You can be seated. He's saying. The crazy part is this is happening to a virtually empty courtroom. There are courts like this.
All right, we are on the record outside the presence of the jury. Ms. Hyde, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Riefers, anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll see everybody 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the sergeant is not feeling well. You may or may not be here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
at this point.
if he's not here tomorrow and we need him for recall, will you be available so you could get here within a half hour, 45 minutes?
That's fair. 45 minutes or so, yeah.
45 minutes to an hour?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Riefers, if you need the sergeant, he may be here, he may not. If you need him, I want a 45 minutes to an hour's notice, and we will get him here.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Also, are we admitting we're admitting the entire video, right? Not just the 9 minutes that was played?
Yes, because I could not clip it.
Is that right, Mr. Riefers? We're admitting the entire video.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Maybe everybody. We'll see those who come tomorrow.
We'll be here,
9.
Judge. We'll be here.
Do you want defense witnesses here tomorrow at 9 as well, Your Honor?
How many we have left? What's the state's case look like tomorrow morning?
Well, I have McClellan, Easton.
Come on. We need to hear this part. I think defense has at least 3 officers. All right. Anyway, we've got subpoena issues and everything else that are happening tomorrow. Why defense thinks that we're waiting on the cell phone subpoena? Like it's going to get turned around in a day? Good luck with that. Good luck. But I can tell you that I think there might be proof of a phone call being made that night because, well, there's that food. Don't eat the food. It made you sick last time. Because when it asked about the cell records, the officer responded very carefully, I do not recall. This is great cover. I do not recall means it may have happened and it may not have happened. I'm not going to get pinned down one way or another on this. And so if you do get the results, then oops, I forgot. All right. He does have 2 phones. Yes, just keeps them stacked like that. But back then he didn't. Last year. What a great case. What a great case. I still think he needs a lawyer. Man, he needs a lawyer. Like, especially when he's going to start testifying. It's going to be, he gets so wrapped up in some of the facts that there's just, his pet peeve. Anyway, with that, we're going to wrap up the day. These glasses helped a ton. I don't have a headache. Can't see my shirt, but I don't have a headache. Blue blockers. The officer is stressed out. I'm concerned about that officer. I'm concerned about that officer being a sergeant, I guess I should say. I need to complete the sentence. He's They're still leaving. He has a hearing problem. That alone won't get you fired. But hang on one second. I've got a call coming in. But in Ohio, hang on one second.
Call from
AWOL. Hold on just 1 second, man. It's clipping a little bit for me. Give me a second. In Ohio, hopefully you didn't leave me. Okay. In Ohio, the Ohio Peace Officer Training Commission has standards that says they must meet general physical and medical fitness for the duties to perform essential job functions, which include adequate sensory capabilities like hearing. And getting up there and saying, I have a hearing problem, and then exhibiting it as well as saying, I couldn't hear what you said. You mumbled something. I didn't hear what you said. Hey, well, you hung up on me. Sorry. I was going to go to you in just a minute. I literally had you on hold. We'll try it again. That might jeopardize his position a little bit. I don't think he could be a street, an officer out on the beat with that
call
situation.
From AWOL.
AWOL, can you hear me this time?
Yes, it was clipping. I don't know if that was you or me.
I like to think it was you.
Probably. Yeah, I'll take the blame for it. Allegedly.
How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. I'm sorry if you didn't finish your statement.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, this case is nuts.
Yes, it is.
I mean, and I just want to state something for some newcomers to the community. After Karen Reed, and considering what we are watching here, I don't want them to get the impression, based off chat, that we are anti-law enforcement here. No, I would like to believe that we're not.
We're not. No, and I just lost your connection.
I think we all respect them for what they do. What I think, my personal opinion, is that we just don't like improper cops, people that do not take their oath seriously. And it is a big thing to get a badge pinned on your chest. I have a state trooper friend, a correctional officer friend. In the town that I grew up in, one is a homicide detective, one was narcotics, and now he does firearms applications. So I love law enforcement. We just don't like ones that don't do the job correctly, because as true crime watchers and trial watchers, and like I said after Karen Reed, we can't just let the title let them do whatever they want to do. That's not how that's not how a society works. Yeah. So we're not anti-LEO here.
No, we're not.
I just want people to know that.
I've got a lot of support, personally for law enforcement. I've worked with them many times, and I was actually talking to the sheriff, my county sheriff, on Saturday. I seen if we can line up some ride-alongs, civilian ride-alongs, to help people get an idea of what police officers deal with on a day in and day out. But anyway, I was going to say I have concerns about this officer. He does have a number of write-ups, and it's normal to have write-ups. It's rare to have an officer with no write-ups, okay? Because we are people, and people make mistakes. It's rare to have a whole career with no write-ups. But the ones that stood out to me, one particularly, failure to turn in a seized firearm or something to that effect. What?
That's insane.
You just took their gun and kept it?
Where is the firearm now?
Why is that not a felony? Why is it? I mean,
where is? That is absurd.
It was. I'm a little irritated by that because I myself have turned in a found firearm to the police, and the officer didn't turn it in. He kept it. There's no record of them ever keeping it. And it's like you literally stole a gun. You looked it up and saw, hey, it's not been reported stolen, or it wasn't used in a crime or something, and no one will ever know. And it just disappears. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. All right.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And again, not anti-LEO or pro-LEO, as long as they're good and honor their oath that they took, because it cannot be rules for thee and not for me.
Right.
And I know some people think that, they're just human, but they decided and they chose to do this job. You don't have to do this job. It should be an honor, and I respect it. I respect that you're putting your life on the line. When most people would not. But that doesn't give you a pass to abuse your power, because the saying goes, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just want everybody to know, I saw some chats that that's what it is. And
I'll tell you this. Let me tell you where I'm standing on this case right now. I think the defendant has a good chance of getting off on the firearms charges. But I think he should probably be convicted for resisting and obstructing. I think I'm split on that. I think he did resist pulling away. I'm sorry, the officer, he gives you a command. The officer's not just going to be like, so where are we at? Grab your arm out of the blue. Gotcha, type thing. There's verbal. Okay, there's something that goes along with it. The body language, everything, stepping out of the vehicle. I can, even though I don't have audio, I can say, I accept that this was a lawful command. This was not an officer ordering somebody to, take off their clothes or something that would be completely unlawful. I don't know why I went with that, but it was a lawful command, and you have to comply. If you want to fight it, you fight it in court, not on the side of the road, right?
Oh my God! All right, that is my point. And I swear this is my last point. I try to call once a month because I don't want to chew your ear off, and I don't want chat to get bored of me.
They love you,
but
they're like, we want more.
I used to own. I used to have a skate shop, and I had a bunch of young skaters, and we were in a town where. And we're skating stairwells in Manhattan and New Jersey and handrails. We know we're breaking the law, kind of, but we might run into law enforcement. So I used to tell them, take this lesson now and into the future. You will not win a case on the street with a cop. This is not where you exercise your rights to a point where it's law and no law. Follow rules, follow what the commands are to a certain extent. But you deal with it later with a lawyer in a courtroom. You're not going to win on the street. You might not survive it to argue your rights later. So just calm down, do what you have to do, get a lawyer and handle it later. Another school of thought is don't argue or have a trial in the street.
Yeah.
That's
sign
not how
the
it
ticket,
goes down.
take it to the judge. He doesn't want to hear it either, but at least that's the right venue. And
yes, exactly. But I'll leave it at that. RA, you're the best. Chat is the best. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Awesome. Can we get a three-way call? Says Legally Blonde.
No problem. We'll set it up.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you, AWOL.
Podcast Thursday.
There we go.
All right. Take care.
We'll
all right.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Legally Blonde, we might have to do that. I bet AOL would be down for it if we do I don't know, we could run StreamYard a day and let you guys jump on and weigh in, maybe counter each other. I'm just looking at the play. I'm going through the replay machine looking at this, particularly this moment when he gets out of the car. So I've got it on slow play, right? He does, if we show this in actual speed right here. Ready, set, go. Watch him open the door. He throws this door open. Boom. Like the cop's like, whoa, and steps back a little bit. And then he slams it. Well, not slam, but it's a hard close. Right here, it's still pretty cordial, but you can tell the driver's frustrated. You've got his jaw sticking out and his head going, and the officer's just like, okay. Well, we're gonna detain you here because look, he looks down right here. Look at the officer. He looks down right here. The officer's head goes down, and he sees that belt. He's like, oh, you've got a clip. You've got a clip. I'm concerned. For my safety, I'm going to detain you. But it's so fast. It's so fast. Anyway, his jaw is sticking out. His mouth's going is what I'm saying. He's like, mom. He's jawing at him. Anyway, today we learned a lot of different things, especially what a siren sounds like. So feel free to call the burner phone and leave a recording of how you would make the siren sound. Whoop, woo! Wiener, 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 all those ones. And maybe we'll do a compilation. So, woot woot. Linda Lou, we'll talk about this. We're going to have this more tomorrow. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. As they're leaving for the day, everyone's taking the cart and going home. There it goes. It's almost 5 o'clock. We're going to wrap up for the day. Public defender is free unless you can afford one, and then you have to buy them yourself. So they go Nina in the UK. Awooga, awooga. That's a good one as well. Whoop, whoop. Laura says, enjoyed this trial. So far, great choice, Josh. Josh, it was great. Thank you very much for this. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. Do go live again tomorrow morning, about 8:45. Court starts at 9. Is he going to pull it off? Is our pro se defendant going to successfully defend himself against the powers that be in a court of law? Could happen. We've got 6 jurors and 1 alternate who've been picked out just for that very duty to decide if it's going to be the state or the defendant that was telling the truth. I think it's going to be split myself. You guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Hush! I'm trying to have court. Don't raise your voice again.
What more can you see?
I think I'm about to catch a wolf.
I was told counsel wanted to see me at sidebar.
In front of the Walmart.